intro was good. We are back in this thing. Camera looks a little bit off center. Let's go this way. Good morning, Latika. How you feeling? Beast, what's going on? We got another good one. Another good one. Good morning, Charmaine. We're just waiting on the announcement. We're waiting on the announcement. C. Brown Run. Good morning. Asante, what's going on? Asante, I be seeing you in the comments. Stay on their necks. Stay on their necks, Asante. Don't let up. Good morning, Miss Brown. All right, so we got the sound checks good. Leon Norris. Good morning. Yeah, Leon, you did say you was a CU uncle last week. This is a great morning. Everybody should have woke up feeling like that scene in Coming to America when Eddie Murphy went to the window and he was just screaming. And he was like, "Good morning." They're like, "Good morning to you too." And then they were like, "F you." And he was like, "F you too." That's how everybody should have woke up feeling today. Everybody should woke up feeling today. Everybody. Great day for 12. See you aunties. See you uncles. That's a fact. Selmo Fudd, what's going on? Man, the bot is working early. The bot is working early. These part-time bots is crazy, man. Selmo Fudd says Shadeur Sanders joins Joe Burrow as the only rookies in NFL history to record 350-plus passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. Let's get it. It's only 2. It's only 2, Selmo Fudd. It's only 2. It's only 2 of them. Doggy Bone, I see you. What's going on? The bot got you, but you know what it is. You know it's all right. Our Jizzle, what's going on? What's going on? Y'all see the request. Y'all see what Charmaine asked. Hit the like button on the way in, y'all. Hit the like button on the way in. We have to look at what's happening with the Browns. There's a couple things we're going to do today. We're definitely going to celebrate Shedeur. We're definitely going to critique and criticize Kevin Stefanski. We're going to look at other coaches, how they would have handled some situations. If y'all watched the game last night, Andy Reid, he went for it on Kansas City's 31-yard line. Similar situation to Kevin Stefanski last week. It was a 10-10 ball game. He felt they needed to go for it. They didn't get the first down. Let's see how he speaks on it after he did that. We're going to compare that to Kevin Stefanski. So I always give y'all other coaches and how they handle situations and compare it to Kevin Stefanski. So we're going to get to that. We're going to wait for Claude to get here. But all this weekend, I was looking into Coach Brennan Marion, who was the new offensive coordinator for CU. And I'm very excited about the prospects of him taking over that offense. Doggy Ball, you gotta tell the bot, hey, meet me outside at 1:00, man. Meet me outside at 1:00. You gotta tell the bot that. Tell him, hey, we got beef. If it's beef, it's gonna be beef. He talks about him building an offense from the ground up. More people should be speaking on what he's doing. What the Browns are doing is what's called sophisticated tanking. You know what? Asante, you might be 1,000% right. Just doing minor little tweaks at certain times. The volume is too low? My volume's too low? All right, let's get it up. Is it the microphone volume? Is it the microphone volume? Let me know. Let me know if the microphone volume is low. If it's low, I can definitely turn it up. Let me do a mic monitor real quick and see how it sounds. Let me check on YouTube before we get into this thing. Y'all know that's the one thing I'm nervous about always is about my sound. It's my sound. Detroit Gemini, what's going on? All right. It should be better now. Just checked it on my phone as well. So the mic sound should be better now. And I just gotta adjust the mic. Gotta adjust the mic a little bit. Tanking for Mendoza. No way at all. No, we don't want Mendoza. Keith Hunt, Jersey in the building. Good morning. Detroit Gemini, you know what it is.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Stay over there, y'all. It's full over here. It's no room over here. It's full. There's no room for you. Stay on that side. And yeah, I don't want Mendoza. Mendoza's not about to turn the franchise around. It's in turmoil. Between the two, I like Cam Ward more as a prospect between him and Mendoza, and you see what Cam Ward is going through. So I don't think he is going to come in and just fix everything. I don't see that happening. Big facts on Marion. He said his offense was built for a small offensive line to confuse the defense and still be explosive. All they need now is a cowbell running back and a new DC. I definitely agree on the DC, and I think they're going to need about 4 running backs because he's always using 2 running backs, and there's so much you could do with the 2 running backs. So you're going to need definitely a bruiser like cowbell, like you're saying. You're going to need a bruiser running back, and I like that he was speaking on it's flexible. So it's easy for the quarterback. It's easy for the quarterback to see. It's easy for the quarterback to read. Once they get in the flow, he just lets them go. Also, he speaks on getting the ball to his most talented players. Just when you hear him speak, you're like, this is what you want. This is what you want in a coach. This is what you want.
You about to lose your job.
This is exactly
you
what
about
you want.
to lose your job.
What's going on, Marie? Good morning. Cam is way better than Mendoza. Yeah, so if Cam can't uplift a porous organization and make them better, Mendoza's not going to do that. Mendoza is, I told y'all early on, Mendoza's going to need to go in a situation like Detroit. He's going to need some a strong running back. He's going to need a shifty, speedy running back. He's going to need multiple weapons on the outside. He's going to need all that. He's going to need all of that for him to succeed in NFL level. He's going to need all that. I feel so relieved that Shedeur showed everything what we already knew. That's it. Most surprising part about yesterday is the defense getting gashed for almost 200. Yes, no adjustments. No adjustments, Zedric. And then also, they didn't start adjusting to take away the run. At some point, when they're gashing you and they're not making Cam Ward throw the ball, on first and second downs, you got to sell out to stop the run. Teams do that all the time against the Browns, and they just never made that next level adjustment. Miles even spoke about it. Think Colorado need dual threat tight end block and catch, and definitely they're going to need that. Doggy Bone, they're definitely going to need more Swiss Army knife players. So the tight end, you can't just put in the tight end who can only block and the tight end that can't run. You're going to need tight ends who could do a combination of both. So you were definitely right there, Doggy Bone. You were definitely right. D, Kevin's draft board, quarterbacks 1 and 2, watched Shadeur Sanders cook yesterday. That's a fact. That is a fact. Stefanski play calling. The defense didn't show up today. Wide receivers dropped balls. The special teams lost this game today. Shedeur balled out. That's it. Shedeur walk away from this game and say, I didn't lose, y'all lost. He gonna say, y'all lost this game. Y'all lost it, not me. Tessa, what's going on? Good morning. What is going on? Cam and Shedeur are in the same boat. The Titans need other things. I agree. Both of them need more. Both of them need more to turn things around. But you see, if you watch that game, you see everything that you saw from both of those guys in college. You saw Cam Ward look a lot stronger than people assumed he was when he flung off Grand Delpit. You saw Cam Ward make some good throws. You saw multiple arm angles from Cam Ward. Then you saw, to me, it looked like Shedeur was wearing number 2 for the Colorado Buffaloes yesterday. It looked no different. It feels like I've seen that game before when I was looking at Shedeur. I've seen it before. So I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked by any of those things that happen. Not surprised by any of it. I wonder, does Mendoza even have the temperament to weather being on a bad NFL team? Zedric. I see him, and I'll use the word quirky. He's quirky. And I just don't know how well that'll fit in a locker room with a team that doesn't have a good coacher. He needs a very strong head coach because the coach is going to be the one that holds everybody accountable, and he's just going to take the marching orders. So he needs a very strong coach. I still can't believe they made us suffer through Dylan all this time. Detroit Gemini, that's criminal that they made us do this. It's criminal that they made us do this. It's criminal that they made us suffer through Dylan Gabriel all this time, and they wanted to tell us for the longest Dylan Gabriel was way further ahead than Shedeur. They even went to the lengths to say practice reps don't matter and all these things, only to see Shedeur get practice reps and play better each and every week. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
Good morning, Shanithia. What's going on? What is going on? Literally took me back to Colorado days. That's it. That's it. It was never a doubt he was going to drive down my field. Yesterday felt like a bust game for sure, especially where the defense showed up in the beginning. I agree. I agree with you. I noticed ESPN isn't really talking about the outstanding game Shedeur played. They're real quiet this morning, or maybe I missed it. Marie, you didn't miss it. So yesterday, towards the end of the stream, I remember saying, yeah, we're going to get to Uncle Ocho. We're going to see if Shady's on. We're going to get some people's reaction to this game. And this morning, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to watch the whole Unsportsmanlike, see if they speak on Shedeur and his game. Unsportsmanlike, that's with Chris Canty. They did a segment on it. The guy that sits to the left on the screen of Chris Canty, he didn't have much to say this morning. He was pretty quiet. I went through all of Get Up. Get Up waited to the very end of the show. So I thought Get Up was going to end the show speaking on Shedeur, Kevin Stefanski, and all that stuff. Get Up did a very small segment. We're going to listen to it. I'm not going to be able to show it because ESPN hasn't put the clip out yet, so we can listen to it. But we can't watch it on stream because I'll get a copyright, but we're going to listen to it. Get Up waited to the very end of their show, and the only thing they spoke on was, did Kevin Stefanski make the worst coaching decision? They spoke on it maybe 45 seconds, and that was it. So, Marie, you are correct. They are not ready to have this conversation. We're not surprised. Now everybody else acting like they didn't already know Shedeur was him. Detroit Gemini, that's it. All you got to do is look at this game and tell me, did you see any of these things in college? That's why I always said this was never about football. This was because they didn't like Shedeur. That's all it was. That's all it was. They didn't like Shedeur. And instead of just saying I don't like Shedeur, they tried to knock him on the football field. Where's Ryan Clark? Crickets. You can't find these people. Crickets. Acho talking about Shedeur is special now and a franchise QB. Oh, we're going to get the Acho. We're going to get the Acho. Beast. But I told y'all might even get sick of hearing this sound effect because you're going to hear it.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
It's going to be a lot of that. A lot of that. Ivy League Mac, what's going on? Mendoza game wasn't better than Shedeur's game. This game literally put the team on his back and willed them to the opportunity to win. Doggy bone. That's exactly it. Exactly it. Jeffrey Simmons is a beast too. Disrupted that third quarter. He disrupted the third quarter, but I always tell y'all in the third quarter, that's where you see if you have a truly good offensive mind who is calling plays, and we don't have that. So the Browns' third quarters are always stagnant. The Browns' third quarters are always stagnant. C. Brown run. Kevin Stefanski is either incompetent or diabolical. Which one? Both. Both of them. C. Brown run. Both of them. That's what it is. That's what it is. Do you think there was a racial element to not like Shedeur? Of course. To some people, of course. They don't have anything else to say about Shedeur. It was never about football. They always gave vague answers for things they didn't like about him. So I'll be a fool to say that with this country's history that didn't play a part in it. I'll be a fool to say that. Hibernating is what Rex Ryan better be doing. My guy is nowhere to be found today. Crickets. Crickets, y'all. Jackie, good morning. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Wet 11s. Good morning. The haters are mad today. They are mad. They are mad. They're moving that goalpost. It gets hard carrying these goalposts because I know goalposts are not light. So just the goalposts that they're moving around got to be so heavy. The Titans outplayed the Browns' defense. They were too busy trying to get Miles to break the sack record. They needed to adjust to stop the run on first and second down because that's where they were gashing the Browns. Then they could turn up field and get them in third and long. They did not put Tennessee in enough third and long situations. They didn't do it. All they keep talking about, well, it wasn't perfect, but of course. Of course, Wet 11s because they don't have anything else to say. They just got to give him his props. And, they got the bitter beer face. Face all twisted up this week. He did all that while being pressured, 63% of dropbacks. That's legendary for real. Cedric, talk to him. Talk to him. Exactly. Wear his hat backwards, not sitting next to Dylan, not looking at the iPad with Dylan, etc. That's it. They just didn't like him. That's why I've been telling y'all for weeks. If people just came out and said, I don't like Shedeur, I would be cool with that. I'd be perfectly fine with that if you said that. But to try to make it all these other things is crazy. It's crazy. Incompetent at being diabolical. Talk to him, Keith. Lots of folks are Shadeur Sanders haters, but I really think the desire to follow status quo thinking has led most of these folks to doubt Sanders. I gotta agree with you, Ivy League Mac. The mistake was listening to people blindly. So y'all gonna see this, and it's something I'm gonna highlight for y'all. If you look at when it goes through the NFL season and you get to draft time, you're going to hear, I want y'all to listen to this phrase. Listen to this phrase. You're going to hear it so much because it led so many people astray in this go round. You're going to hear people say, you've been following this all year. You cover college more than I do. Tell me how you feel about said player. You're going to hear people say that. You're going to hear it a lot. You're going to hear it a lot. You're going to hear that so much. What that is telling you is this person did not put in the work throughout the year, and they're just going to listen blindly and follow what somebody else says. That's what they're going to do. So just listen for that phrase. When you hear that phrase, anything a person says after that, the person who poses that question, don't listen to what they say about a college player at all. Any college player, not just quarterbacks. Any of them. Any of them. James Woodard in the building. Man, that sounds low. Let me see. Let me turn this up. Let me get this turned up for y'all. Shout out to James Woodard. Let me turn this up. Man, every time when I play it back, it sounds good. Let's go a little bit louder here. Wait, no, headphone. Let's go mic louder here. And let me go one more place to make sure the mic is good for y'all. I want to make sure we good. Shout out to James Woodard. I appreciate you. Headset mic. It looks good here. All right. Hopefully that should be good for y'all. Just going all around and turning up the microphone settings. Make sure it's good. That should be good for y'all. Hopefully that's good. Don't want to be screaming in y'all ear. But hopefully that sound is good for you right there. Hopefully that sound is good. Hopefully that's better. Let me triple check on my phone so we can keep this thing rolling. We can keep it rolling. And shout out to you, James Order. I appreciate all your support. Always tapping in, always showing up. I appreciate you. All right, that should be better. Sounds good. Sounds good on my phone. All right, let's keep it rocking, rolling. Cam said you're not finna break your record with me. Facts, Tessa. That's what they did. They said you're not gonna put us in history on the wrong side of this and break the record against us. So they played their entire game plan to not let Miles get the record against him. Where's the ops at? They are quiet today. I don't want to see another wildcat, dog, wild hog, or nothing. They are eating Stefanski up. Yeah, he's getting what he rightfully deserves. Shedeur put the team on his back without any conversation. Stefanski, the team, that's a fact. He could have had 402 insane game. Yeah, crazy numbers. Yesterday's performance doesn't match their negative narrative, so it's 0 dark 30. Silence at ESPN. Yep, nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Cleveland media is insane right now. Yeah, Cleveland media is so bad. I gotta just tell y'all this. No, I'm good. Thank you. Cleveland media is so bad, y'all, that now they're saying, "Oh, we don't know if Shedeur's a franchise guy." Y'all don't know what y'all looking at. They don't know what they're looking at. I'm not playing no Cleveland media on the show today, just to let y'all know. 0 Cleveland media will be on the show today. 0. Not a one of them. None of them. So just to let y'all know, we're not playing with them today. Good morning, Maurice. What's going on? 12 QBs played against the Titans. Shedeur had the most passing yards by 66 yards, more than the QB next to him, Matthew Stafford, with 298 yards. Shanithia, that's a fact. I saw that as well. The Browns media hating on their own QB. Asante, that's it. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. They will not make the cut today. No Cleveland media. No Cleveland media today. None. Nope. They get no shine today. None at all. Cam was even happy for Shedeur. He wanted his jersey so bad. Cam looks up to 12. Did you see Jakey Judy and Shedeur celebrate together? Yeah, I did see that. I did see them celebrate together. And, yeah, I did watch Bucky's well off. And then at the end, when he was telling, hey, we got to get that jersey. Shedeur like, we going to do it in the back. All right, make sure I get that jersey now. Make sure I get that jersey. I stopped listening to them. Oh, he's asking Tessa what they're saying. Stefanski didn't want Shedeur to win because they didn't want Shedeur to beat the #1 draft pick. It would look crazy. I always told y'all that it's only one person who would not want Shedeur to have success. That person is Kevin Stefanski. When I initially said that, I sounded like a hater. But now everybody is just coming out saying Dillon Gabriel was a wasted pick. The difference is I said this when they drafted him. Now people are saying that's a wasted pick. It was always a wasted pick, y'all. It was never a good pick. Make sure I got the all live chat so I can make sure I see everybody. Let me not fall for that trap. Shout out to Charmaine.
Oh my God! Wow!
Do y'all remember in Friday when they took Red Chain? You remember they took Red Chain in Friday? And they said he gonna cry in the car. He gonna cry in the car. Charmaine, you are right. DG, he cried in the car last night on that way home. He cried in the car. This was my opportunity. This was my show. This is my team. Everybody in the organization, they want me to play. They want to see me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. This is my message for DG.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, get some help. Get some help. Get some help, my friend. Get some help. Right on his fiance's shoulder. That's a fact. I can't wait to see what Shedeur do in that Bears game. He gonna look better. Hey, keep growing. He keep getting better. Keep getting better. I'm with you, Beast. You said it. G. Bush said it. Sean King said it. It was the most egregious pick in the draft. That's a fact. If you did any work and you looked at any of these guys coming into this year, you knew Dillon Gabriel was not the guy. Nobody was talking about him. Nobody was looking at him. It looks even worse now. But this is what I believe. I believe behind the scenes, they took Dillon Gabriel to appease Kevin Stefanski, and I think that's why Kevin Stefanski went so far out of his way to force things to work with Dillon Gabriel. That's what I believe. I'm willing to be wrong on that, but that's what I believe. I believe he went out of his way to force that. And that's why we waited so long. That's why we couldn't see Shedeur. That's why he put all the stories about Shedeur. That's why he did all those things. They forced the issue. They forced Dillon. It did not work. Didn't work. That's what it is. That is why Dillon needs to be traded. He can't coexist with Shedeur on the same team. If he does more things that shows he can't be here, I'm perfectly fine. To me, this is how I feel. I'm looking at Dillon Gabriel like he's not even there. He there, but I don't see him. That's how I'm looking at Dillon Gabriel. So if he starts issues as the backup quarterback, get rid of him. If he sit there and quiet and just accept his fate that he was never better than Shedeur, and he extra camp arm, do your thing. But if you one more peep, we get one more messed up quote, we get one more situation from your lady, stuff got to change. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, pick the wrong one. Pick the wrong one. Detroit Gemini, pick the wrong one. Success is problematic for the Cleveland media. They just can't acknowledge the skill and greatness Shedeur has. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. He definitely is. Detroit Gemini, he needs receivers. Yeah, Kevin should never be able to have any input on drafting QB. Facts. Facts. He got to get that thing up. We can't listen to what you say. If I get you lost, if we're in the car and I say, hey, I know how to get here, I'm going to give you the directions to get here. If every time I say that to you, we end up getting lost, how many more opportunities are you going to give me where you're going to follow my directions? Eventually, you're going to say, you know what? We're just going to use the GPS. Beast. That's one of the main points that I've heard people use, and they act like the Browns are a good team. They're going to say it's just the Titans, but both teams are bad. That's it. See, Brown Run, I agree with you about Dillon and Kevin Stefanski. That's it. I think Kevin Stefanski was like, I don't see one at the top, but Dillon Gabriel, I can win with him. If you give me him and you give me time, I can win with him. And then he gave him time, and he couldn't win with them, and now it is what it is. Kevin should never coach for the NFL ever. Yeah, everybody's saying, oh, he's gonna get a coaching job somewhere else. He get fired. Take him. I don't want him. We don't need him. Clearly, he doesn't know how to evaluate quarterbacks. Clearly, his offensive system is not good. What are we doing with you? You're just here to be here. You are just here to be here. None of this, that don't matter to me. That don't matter to me. Take him. You can have him. This is abundance mindset. Where you will fail, another coach will come in, look at Shedeur, look at the draft capital they have, and say, hey, we can jumpstart this thing. The defense is really good. We can jumpstart this thing. Look up all the records he broke yesterday. When we get to the clip I'm going to play for Unsportsmanlike, they're going to go through a decent amount of the ones he broke. See, the thing is, in Dillon's camp, they feel he's better because of his draft position. I think Dillon should be traded. I don't disagree with that, Tessa. Draft position means nothing if it doesn't match your performance. That's why everybody were saying the 5th round pick thing is the reason why stuff can be bad for Shedeur. It never made sense. Oh, it could be bad. It never made sense. Draft position is before you take the field. Once you take the field, draft position doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't matter. And there's multiple stats of no QB throwing for 300 yards on the Titans this year. I'm just saying, talk to him. Talk to him. Do you believe that Shedeur is the future? Of course. Beast, I believe Shedeur was the future before the NFL draft. Before the NFL draft, I believe he was the future. So nothing has happened that is going to move me off of that spot. We have no new information that'll make me view this any differently. Kevin Stefanski trying to find his diamond in the rough. I agree. Trying to be the smartest in the room. Just wait. Just listen to me. I got this, y'all. That's what Kevin Stefanski's saying, and he don't got this. He don't got this. He don't got it. He don't got it. All right, y'all. Let's get to it. Now, I got to show y'all some coaches. Oh, let me get this linked up. Let me get this linked up. I didn't link this up right, but I got it for y'all. That's okay. We're going to get to some video clips. Hopefully, Clyde Marshall taps in because I know he was very curious about this. Let's go here. Let me take this down. All right. This is on to the right side of the screen. That is Coach Brennan Marion. He's a new OC at Colorado. Remember that nothing will change if we move from Dylan to Shedeur narrative. There's just not enough talent for Shedeur to look any better. Maurice, I remember. I remember. If you notice, during that time, I looked at those people. I said, these people don't know what they're talking about. Remember I kept saying that? I said they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. I told y'all the ways it was going to look different. I said Shedeur is going to attack the entire field. I told y'all that before Shedeur played. And then I also was never a person who said Shedeur should not go out there and play. I always said Shedeur needs to put the tape out there. The tape needs to tell the story, not these people. I mean, at this point, if I just kept going back and I just kept showing everything that I said before it happened and being right, we wouldn't make it through an episode. We wouldn't make it through a podcast because it would be too many things that I would just say, hey, I said this in week 1, said this in week 2, said this in week 3, said this in the off season. It would be too much. But I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got some great memories. Y'all remember it. Y'all remember it as it's happening. Y'all remember when I say it. Shedeur really did ball out. I'm so proud of him. I know he feels good. Yep. You saw that confidence in the post-game press conference? That's confidence, y'all. That's real confidence. You don't got to put anybody down. Real confidence shines. Dylan Gabriel was never confident. I like Cam Ward. He going to be a great QB. Yep. They got to clean up some stuff around Cam Ward. He has to clean up some stuff. They got to clean up some stuff around Cam Ward. They need a defined offensive system. Defined. And they need to trust in what they have. Cam good. He had reps since day 1. That's a fact. Charmaine talked to him. It makes a difference. Remember all the people that said reps don't matter? Go out there and perform. And we just said, hey, we just want the same opportunity. The result will be the result. We just want the same opportunity. But if it looks better with the same opportunity, I need y'all to go sit somewhere. I need y'all to do like ESPN is doing today. I need y'all to sit. I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Thank you. No, Cleveland media is fine with me. Live Gratefully 247. I appreciate you for being here. And sometimes you get to the point where you just got to move past what's been happening. So at this point, I think if I put up a poll in the chat, y'all would agree that my level of understanding of football compared to what Cleveland radio stations are doing right now is not close. So at that point, it's almost like I'm picking on them by just keep pointing out how they don't understand things. It's like picking on them. You know, if I was just to go break down, I listened to like 15 minutes of Anthony Lima, and he's still talking about Shedeur's footwork and this and that, and I'm just like, they don't know what they're talking about. So it's I would just be bullying them if I just keep showing them and their lack of understanding. So it's going to be times where I'm just like, you know what? We're not going to see anybody from Cleveland today. It's going to be no point to show it. It's going to be no point. Today is one of those days. Today is one of those days where it's not giving y'all any value for us to listen to somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about, repeat some talking points that they heard somebody say 2 weeks ago and then repeated them today. It's no value to that. No value. Let's get to Coach Brennan Marion. We're going to start looking at some coaches, y'all. So let's listen to some coaches. Let's listen to him here.
Yeah, so I would go, all right,
This is Colorado's new offensive coordinator. I'm very excited for him to be the OC in Colorado. I don't have enough time to break down all the good things that he said. I probably watched 10 interviews of his over the weekend, really going into his offensive system that he created. This is a system that he created. And he went to the start. Let me give you all a quick. He went to the start of the NFL and he started looking up offensive systems and what has stood the test of time. And he built his offensive system off of offensive systems that have always worked. And his offensive system is designed to be easy to understand for his players. You have defined things that happen based on what the defense shows, and you can get to the answers very quickly. And he also stress tests the defense. He always is putting some part of the defense in conflict. So what he has found is, from speaking to all these different defensive coordinators do not like unbalanced lines. They don't like, overloading one side of the field. So he has created his offensive system to put them in a bind. Dang, my bad. The bot got you. James Woodard, I don't know why I did that. Yes, sir. Mr. Gogo. Yes. I'm going to buy his book. In going through and looking up stuff with him, he and Emory Hunt, they co-wrote a book about his Gogo offense. So I'm going to definitely get the book. I'm going to read it. But I'm very excited for what he does. So let's get to him. They're asking him questions in this interview. These are questions from other coaches. So these are other coaches asking him questions. Let's go.
Block it versus a 3 down front. Let's block it versus a 4 down front. Let's block it versus 5 up. Let's block it versus 6 up. Okay, what are our answers, right? We just have an answer sheet. We just started creating an answer sheet to everything that we could possibly see from a standpoint of what the box would look like. Really, on the coverage answers on the back end, a lot of that stuff really already had those answers from being a receiver and knowing the back end. But really, for me, I had to spend time with the 2 things that I spent the most time on. Well, really 3 things was becoming a quarterback, learning how to actually be a quarterback, like actually going through the steps and doing what a quarterback does. I actually had a guy train me to be a quarterback and go through the steps, and so I could really understand what quarterback play was all about, and because I didn't play quarterback.
That's a really good point right there. So as he's building this system, he wanted to understand what the quarterback is going to go through. So he trained to be a quarterback, to have that intimate understanding of what a quarterback is going to do when they're back there processing. He made it to the NFL as a wide receiver. Injuries shortened his career. He was on the Miami Dolphins. He went to, I think he was going to the CFL, and his first practice, he got injured. And then the very next day, the Dallas Cowboys called him, and he had to tell the Cowboys he couldn't make it because he had multiple ACL surgeries. So injuries shortened his career, not talent. So you see the length he's willing to go to make sure he has an understanding. This is not some gimmick that he just put together. This is an offense that's sustainable. It's sustainable. Let me hit these 2 comments. They just have to find the most pettiest stuff to try to demise Shedeur. I've never heard anybody critiquing the QB's footwork. Come on now, that's hilarious. Detroit Gemini, that's a fact. And remember last week I said, is it every play that they're critiquing his footwork, or is it 1 or 2 plays here and there? Because what I see is 1 or 2 plays, his footwork is not good, and they say, well, his footwork is not good. Like the entire game, his footwork is not good. It just doesn't make sense. That poster they had in the Browns facility of Shedeur was nice. Beast, Shanithia asked me about that. She said, if they don't believe in Shedeur, why do they have this poster of him up like this? Because the tide is turning. People who originally were tasked with making the decisions going forward, they're not in control no more. The people who believe in Shedeur are now in control, and that is why you are seeing things change around how the Browns are handling Shedeur. Everything went based on Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski is going to be fired. Do I know the exact moment? No, he's going to be fired. He is not in control anymore. Now they can treat Shedeur how they truly feel about Shedeur. They can treat him that way. So that's why they had that poster up. That's why Coach Prime is there. It's all happening. Y'all see it. I am very picky with the QB position. I agree with Sanders. Nobody doing what he can do right now. Charmaine, that's a fact. That's a fact. Nobody can match it. Nobody can match it. Also, something else I want to hear, I hope y'all caught from Brennan Marion. He said they have an answer sheet. So you have a game plan. That's about 18 plays that you can always go to. Then you have an answer sheet. So then when you get into a point and you're like, wait, we didn't expect to see this defensive front, the coach is doing the work on the back end to make sure in real time they can adapt to what the defense is doing. That is one of the biggest issues that the Cleveland Browns have. Their inability to adapt on the spot. That's why 3rd down is so bad for the Browns. third quarters are so bad for the Browns. Once that defense goes in the locker room, gets an extended look at some film, and they make their adjustments, the Browns don't make adjustments well. So in the third quarters, their offense looks terrible. Why can't we find an offensive coordinator like him? Because Coach Prime was smarter. Coach Prime went and grabbed him quick. And he's been around. He was with Pitt. He was with Tulsa. He played at Tulsa. He was at Texas with Sarks. He was at UNLV. So he's been around. He's coached at high schools. He's been around and available. He says every summer people are coming in, coaches are coming in to learn his system. They don't want to run his full system. I think where his system is going to be the most dangerous is going to be in the red zone. His system has so many answers in the red zone. When you get condensed, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. Let's hear a little bit more from him.
And then the offensive line play, really just studying a whole bunch of great offensive line coaches, the Gibbs of the world, and, everybody who had an O-line clinic. I was just going to O-line clinics and learning from offensive line coaches how to establish the run. And then really defensive coordinators, just asking them, what would you do to this? What would you do to that? What do you consider this? What if this guy motions here? What's your check? What's your answers? And what would you do to unbalanced? Just trying to seek as much knowledge and information I could to compile like an answer sheet. I like to have an answer key. Everybody talked about Rich Rodriguez back in the day. He would have an answer sheet to each. If they played cover 3, right? If they played 3 strong, 3 weak, this is the pass play we're going to run. This is the run. Like having that answer key so when you go out there, you're able to make adjustments on the fly and not after the game is over.
How different.
He just ended that perfect. He's able to make adjustments on the fly because he has an answer key. You can make them on the fly. We always watch the Browns and we're like, they're not making any adjustments. The defense has adjusted. We haven't adjusted. He showed you or he spoke you through how he makes that adjustment. Is another part where he's going to talk about when your guy has the hot hand, you got to keep feeding him the ball and not switching off. Let me see if that's the next question.
Different was your answer sheet from your game plan, or were they mostly the same because you didn't know what you were going to get?
Well, the game plan is like, this is what we're doing, and they're gonna adapt to what we're doing. That's the game plan sheet, and it's really based on touches. What player needs to get the ball? How many times we need to get him the ball? When we get on this hash, when we get on this yard line, when we're backed up, when we're coming out, how does the defensive coordinator play in these areas? Your third down situational, that's really what your game plan starts off of. And then your answer key is just, if they do something you haven't seen, into the adjustment of, because really you're just checking it off. Your first 9 to 18 plays, you're going, okay, they play this formation exactly how we thought they would. Boom, they do this. We motion, they did exactly what they did on film. You're really just checking those things off.
I like what you said. Now
I think what he's going to be able to do at Colorado is going to be amazing. Juju is athletic enough to run this. And I want y'all to hear this. A lot of people are going to say, oh, this is for a running quarterback. This offense is not designed for a running quarterback. Like, you got to be overly athletic. His offense is designed for a quarterback that makes good, quick decisions. So the thing that he's done is he put 2 running backs in the backfield. You can either split them side by side, or you can have them both to the right, and then you can have all your tight ends and receivers and everybody to the right and super overloaded. When the defense adjusts and they overload the right side of the defense, you can run the ball to the left. So it's just, he has quick built-in answers for everybody. And even in this interview, they're going to ask him, okay, how long does it take you to implement this? And he's like, I've taught this to a high school. I've implemented this to a high school team in 3 days, because it's all about understanding. And also his calls are not crazy. So do y'all remember when they were saying, oh, the calls and what Shedeur has to learn, saying the play calls and stuff? You should not have difficult play calls if you don't have success. You should have the most bland, like the Cleveland Browns offensive play calls should be bland and basic, because it's not special. I shouldn't be saying 20-word play calls for what the Cleveland Browns run. It should be the Z does this, the X does this, tight end does this, running back does this. That's it. Offensive line, this is snap count. It shouldn't be all this craziness. he taught his high school team 40 plays, all based off of their call was one word. So one word, you know exactly what you're doing on that word. So even if things change around it, like the offensive line, if their call is Cobra, it's always Cobra. It doesn't change to a different play. Even if they run a different play behind them, what the offensive line always will do is Cobra. And I really like that. There's some defensive coordinators teaching that way in the NFL. We just haven't been able to get to it, but I also like that as well. So just a different approach. So I'm really, really, really excited for Colorado's offense. I can't tell y'all how excited I am because it's going to look different, y'all. It's going to look different. But that is Coach Brennan Marion. Very excited for him. Very excited for his growth. Very excited to see him at CU. Very excited. Let's get to Andy Reid, y'all. So Andy Reid went for it on fourth down. He was on the 31-yard line, so he was on the wrong side of the field. He went for it, just like Kevin Stefanski did last week. Kevin Stefanski kind of wasn't direct about what he saw or why he changed it. This is Andy Reid on what he saw and how he handled it. Let's go, Andy Reid.
I thought we could get it. That was the decision. I was confident we could. We could do that. So it's important that you take advantage of opportunities. I thought it was an opportunity. I was wrong, though. I mean, hindsight, it was wrong. We've been pretty good on fourth downs. So, I messed that one up.
Y'all hear that? I was wrong. We didn't get it. I messed that one up. That's all it is. A lot of times you save yourself. Kevin Stefanski does not save himself because he just will do better. We got to get better. No, just say, hey, I made a call, but the call was wrong and it wasn't the right call. Just say it. Now they don't have to ask him any more questions about that call. They'll just show this clip and say, hey, he wanted to go for it. He thought they can get it. In hindsight, he was wrong and he messed up. That's how you're able to move forward. Kevin Stefanski has so many things that linger, and the reason why he can't move forward is because he just will not admit fault when he's wrong. He won't admit fault. Just say, hey, I tried to make something happen there. It didn't work. It's on me. But then you got to make the change and not let it keep happening. Every week, something is happening that Kevin Stefanski can't get rid of. Let's keep it moving. Shanithia sent me this on Patreon. Shout out to Shanithia being part of the All Access crew on Patreon. If you are a super supporter on Patreon or if you're part of the All Access crew, you can send video clips that you would like to see on the show to hear my reaction to. Shanithia sent me this, and it's funny because I was also looking at this to play. But let's listen to good old Acho.
Shadeur Sanders is their future. He's a franchise quarterback in the National Football League, and if anybody doubts that, just show them this. This is the most comprehensive and exciting tape, fully comprehensive, of Shedeur.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
It's not going to work, Acho. Acho, this is my issue with you. It's not that we disagree. I told y'all, I don't mind if people disagree with me. Are you having an honest conversation? Emanuel Acho was not having honest conversation when it came to Shedeur Sanders. It's a reason why I asked y'all if Shedeur looked any different than he looked in college yesterday. The reason why was because all the people who believed in Shedeur just said, hey, give him time, give him opportunity. He'll look like he did in college. We were right. The people who tried to say it was something Shedeur wasn't doing right, it's something he's not doing behind the scenes, he has to be doing something wrong, that's why he's not getting an opportunity, now they got to change their tune. That's why I'm saying stay on that side to those people. Stay on that side because everybody only wanted an opportunity. Shedeur went and proved with that opportunity. So if you were trying to blame other things and blame Shedeur for not getting an opportunity, you were wrong. So you, my friend, must stay on that side.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Emanuel Acho, stay on that side. It's full over here. It's no more room. It's no more room, sir. Stay on that side. He was also, in multiple times, he was being a contrarian. He was saying all these things just to keep an argument going, just to have a Shedeur story, just to be able to have a clip of them arguing about Shedeur. I saw right through it. I told y'all. I don't even believe Acho believes the stuff he's saying more than half the time when he's speaking on Shedeur. This is nothing different. This is nothing different. I told y'all, y'all gonna hate John Morant by the end of this week.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Stay on that side. You switched up. Stay on that side. Stay on that side. Disregard what you hear from Cleveland media and their fans. Start looking for what you hear from other NFL QBs. That's where the truth will come from. They always see the new competition first. I like that, Maurice. I like that. Oh, so now Acho excited about Shedeur. Stay on that side, bro. Marie. It's going to be a lot of Ja Morant this week, y'all.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
It's going to be a lot of Ja Morant. Do you think they're going to draft a QB in the draft? No, sir. No, sir. Beast, I don't. I don't believe it. This is why. I'll tell you why. So, if two people were going to be fired before the year, I called it before the year. I said, I want Andrew Berry gone. I want Kevin Stefanski gone. That's what I said before the year. I said that before the year. Kevin Stefanski going to be fired. Nobody is going to be able to deny that at some point. I don't know when he's going to be fired. We don't even got to have that conversation. When it comes to Andrew Berry, from the beginning, I said Andrew Berry has a big joker that he can play. Hey, if you know spades, you know what I'm talking about. Andrew Berry needs one book to set the other team. He has a little joker and a big joker, and it's only 2 rounds left. Andrew Berry knows they can't do anything. The other team just doesn't know yet. They still got hope. They got belief. They just don't know their fate. Kevin Stefanski is the other team. His fate has been sealed. Andrew Berry put out that big joker and said, I told y'all from the beginning I wanted Shedeur. I told y'all we get Shedeur an opportunity. Andrew Berry moved mountains out the way that Kevin Stefanski was going to try to use. Oh, Kenny Pickett's your guy? Get him out of here. Joe Flacco's your guy? You going to make him the backup at the Dillon? Get him out of here. Bailey Zappi, or as Cam Newton would say, Bailey Zappi, you think you're going to bring him ahead of Shedeur? Try it and see what happens. Try it. Andrew Berry is sitting there after this draft class and saying, I'm the man. You got to roll with me. I wanted him gone, but I accepted. If he knocks us out the park, Shedeur is who I believe he is. He's running the show now. I'm the captain now. That's Andrew Berry. So he's going to be here. So if the person who wanted Shedeur, drafted Shedeur, took the backlash for putting these QBs in a situation, looks the best, you think he's going to go draft another quarterback? When he's saying, think about how I will look when I go draft all offensive players. See Brown run. You know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So Andrew Berry's going to be here. He's not taking another quarterback. He's going to build around the offense. And he got Shedeur in the 5th round. He is truly going to look like the smartest one in the Cleveland Browns draft room. He's looking that way now because he probably wasn't sold on Dillon Gabriel, but he gave him a bone. He gave him a bone. Hey, you want Dillon Gabriel? You're going to get him. But don't think I'm not going to get me a quarterback out of this too. For that reason, it's just going to play out, y'all. Now he's just capping for Stefanski. That's Acho. That's a fact, Zedric. That's a fact. He most likely will let him finish the season before a amicable split. That's a fact. Hey, don't get him out of there. Berry is dumb like a fox. Facts. I bet you, even after this loss, Andrew Berry it's a video going to come out of him dapping up Shedeur. Hey, keep doing your thing now. Keep doing your thing. See Brown run, see it. The spades analogy. The other team is set. They don't even know it. Keith Hunt, it's a fact. Andrew Berry saying, I'm the man. That's what it is. So, no, I don't see them draft another quarterback. I see Andrew Berry. I told y'all a couple of weeks ago that I see Andrew Berry staying. I changed my stance on him being fired just based on how things are playing out. Just let y'all know that's what happened. That's how it's going to go. If you have this potential in a 5th round pick with your salary cap situation and you spend more draft capital on another quarterback at the top of the draft, you should hand in your walking papers that day. hand in your walking papers that day. Remember last week the Cleveland media said trade three picks, 2 firsts and a second to go get Fernando Mendoza with Shedeur right there? And Shedeur is doing this in the NFL. It's the hope that Fernando Mendoza can do this in the NFL. Are y'all trading a chance for another player when you know what you have right now? Question you got to ask yourself. AB is the man. He knows Shedeur was supposed to be drafted in the first round to begin with. It's a fact. He just said, hey, this is too good of a deal to pass up on Shedeur. I'm going to trade up. I'm going to go get him. And that's his big joker. And he just played the big joker. Yesterday, Andrew Berry played the big joker. He set the other team. There's nothing Kevin Stefanski can do to come back from him blowing this season. Nothing he can do. That's what it is. So that's my long way of saying a QB won't be drafted at the top of the draft. This is another one Shanithia sent me. Let's hear it.
On with Kevin Stefanski. Why do you take Shadeur Sanders off the field for that 2-point conversion? That was the most humiliating game I have ever watched as a Browns fan. Kevin Stefanski needs to be fired tomorrow. Shedeur Sanders, in his 3rd ever start as a rookie, first of all, had a phenomenal game. Damn near 400 yards passing, 4 total touchdowns, played great, played to win. And you know what? He was the only one. With 4.5 minutes left, Shedeur Sanders took this team down the field, punched in a scramble touchdown on the ground to make this 31-23. Kick the extra point, Kevin. We still don't know why you decided to go for 2 there, but you didn't get it. So now it's an 8-point game instead of 7. And what does Shedeur Sanders do? The next time he gets the ball right back down the field, scores a touchdown. You are 1 2-point conversion away now from tying this game up and going to overtime. And I want to know what's going on with Kevin Stefanski. Why do you take Shedeur Sanders off the field for that 2-point conversion? He is playing out of his mind for the last 4.5 minutes, scored 2 touchdowns, brought you back into a chance to tie this game up, a game that you have blown from the beginning. And you take him off the field. And not only do you take him off the field for that 2-point conversion play, but the play you called instead was one of the worst plays I have ever watched in a professional sporting event in my life. This team is a joke. It is a clown show. Kevin Stefanski, Jim Schwartz, Tommy Rees, Bubba Ventrone, everybody has got to go. Get out of here. Get away from Cleveland. We don't want you. I don't fault anybody for questioning whether or not this coaching staff actually wants Shedeur Sanders to win games, because damn it, he won that game, or at least put you in position to tie it up. He came back with everything you want to see from a quarterback, especially here in Cleveland, with the grit and the toughness and the determination that he is not going to lose this ball game. And you know what? Kevin Stefanski, decided that you were going to lose this ball game. And you know what? You did. Not just to anybody, but to a 1-win football team. Everything about this is sketchy. I don't care what anybody says. I'm skeptical. And I don't blame anybody for thinking that way.
So I had to play that for y'all. We let him get everything off his chest. We let him get everything off his chest. Maya, what's going on? Tim, what's going on? Got to change. Old school ball. Get you multiple men for each line position. Account for injury and bust. I agree with that. Maurice, there's a lot of GMs behind the scenes with a size 13 boot. I agree with you, Maurice. I agree with you. My thing is, so I asked this after yesterday's game, and I said, will people get fired because of this? And some people disagree with me because they said if this was collusion, then they won't get fired. And I agree with that sentiment. If this was planned, nobody will get fired. But if guys start getting fired because they passed on Shedeur based on things they heard and he wasn't good, then we know what it was. That's gonna be our answer. If GMs, if scout people, if they get fired or don't, it's gonna be the answer to what truly happened to Shedeur Sanders. Charmaine, you see it.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
Never seen him hot like this. Crazy. That's a fact. He usually calm. Even he be over it, but he's calm. Now he ain't. Hey, he's basically in. Even at the end, he said, whatever y'all say Kevin Stefanski did, he did it. Whatever y'all say Kevin Stefanski did, he did it. Whatever y'all going, if y'all want to accuse him of this, that, accuse him of all of it, I'm not defending him. Does AB ever talk to the media? He talks to the media before the season. He talks to the media usually on the bye. He didn't talk to them at the bye this week or this year. And then he will speak again after the season. After the season. Those are the 3 times we'll hear from AB. Unless it is around draft time, you'll hear from him more. You'll hear from him more. Real fresh food, as always. What is going on?
Oh my God! Wow! I got money.
Real fresh food hit the Cash App and says, good morning, I'm late. Glad to have you here, as always. Definitely got to go through and watch some of the replay of this one, especially at the beginning. Just some great conversation that we were having early in this thing. This Monday should be called Vindication Monday. Zedric, I like it. I like it. Hearing that makes it a fireable offense. I agree. I'm just happy that now, even I'm not going to do it. I was going to call somebody out because somebody been taking what I say and they've been repeating it. I ain't going to call them out. We're going to keep it clean, y'all. But I'm just glad everybody finally made their way to the side that I was on. I look crazy when I'm saying fire the coach before the year. I look crazy when I'm saying it after week 2. I look crazy when I'm saying it after week 4. I don't look crazy anymore. Y'all actually agree with me the whole time. Y'all just didn't know. Y'all agree with me the whole time. Y'all didn't know. So everybody out here, if you stream on YouTube and you repeat some of the stuff I say, just say, hey, I heard this from a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? Put some shouts out there with it. That's all. I don't ask for much, y'all. I don't ask for much. Just say this is where you heard it first. Shout your boy out, y'all. Shout your boy out. That's it. That's it. Where we at? You take half of your options by not having your QB in the game. Facts. That makes you very easy to defend as soon as the quarterback goes out the game. I believe we will hear from Barry at the end of the year, Maya. I think he stayed quiet for this reason. Hey, just let it play out. He just letting it play out. He letting it play out. Shout out to Real Fresh Food as always coming through. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Why didn't they go for the field goal on the first 2-point conversion? I couldn't tell you why. It makes no sense. So normally down 14 at home, you just kick the field goal. I don't want to hear about these analytics and all this stuff. I don't care about the analytics. I don't care. You're at home. This other team does not want to throw the ball. I'm making this other team go the full length of the field to beat me. I'm kicking the field goal, and then the next time I'm kicking the field goal. And if they get the ball back with 1 minute to go, our defense is the best against the pass. They're not going with 1 minute to go. You think they lining up Tony Pollard to run the ball? No, they're dropping back. So it was just egregious. That was a fireball offense. The special teams is a fireball offense. It's too many things that happen that are fireball offenses. Too many things. And it's happening every week. Last week, questionable decisions, fireball offenses. This week, questionable decisions, fireball offenses. Losing to one of the worst team, if not the worst team in the league, fireball. Maurice, just a hint. Just a hint. Because, they take it and they say it like they came up with it. And that's, as a creative person, as a person who goes through what I want to say, I'm mindful of what I say. I'm mindful of how I put my show together. When you just steal from me, it's like, come on, man. Like, that's why I said, if I went back and I just played all the stuff that I said initially, if I just played all the stuff I said that people say routinely now, I would look crazy. I would look crazy. So I shout people out. If y'all ask me about somebody, I'll tell you if I rock with them or if I don't. I shout people out. So if you're going to watch in the shadows, shout your boy out. You know what I'm saying? Shout your boy out. That's all. I don't ask for much. The game would have been tied. I agree, Beast. The game would have been tied. You're playing at home. You have all the momentum. A team that doesn't want to drive the length of the field, you force them to drive the length of the field. They don't want to throw the ball. Make them throw the ball. So anyone who watched 12 in college knew he was going to get those last 2 points to tie. real fresh food. That's one of the things I said earlier. This is why I tell people I hit them with the. This is why I hit him with the John Morant. This is why.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
I hit him with the John Morant because Shedeur looked like Shedeur in Colorado. He didn't look any different. So if you never watched him in Colorado, if you never watched him in Jackson State, that's why you were against him the whole time. But the people who watched him, are y'all surprised by what Shedeur did yesterday? Or were you waiting for Shedeur to do this? Because the people who are surprised by it never watched him in college. The people who are waiting for this to happen knew he had this in him the whole time. They knew it. They knew it was there the whole time. The other team was 111, fireable offense. It's just Maya. That's a fact. Fireable offense. Unless he is the point of a spear to lose. It sounds good, but it's too much. It's too much attention on the Browns for y'all to go out there and try to lose and do stuff like that. It's too much attention. It's too much attention. That's why ESPN is trying not to talk about it. That's why there was crickets today talking about it. That's why. Analytics is for teams above 500. Yeah, I don't want to hear about analytics, Keith, when you constantly are making the wrong decision. I don't want to hear about analytics. I want to hear about results. Don't talk to me about analytics. Because how do you go to analytics when you're going to go for it in a key moment in a game, but the analytics tell you Dylan Gabriel was never going to be good? If you go back and you look at the height of a quarterback, if you look at the height of a quarterback in the NFL, the amount of quarterbacks who have had sustained success who are under 6 foot is very low. Did you use analytics when you drafted Dylan Gabriel? So I don't want to hear about analytics later when you're trying to cover up you just being a bad coach. Don't pull the analytics out now. All natural. What's going on? Latanya, good morning. What's going on?
Oh my God! Wow! I got money.
Shout out to C.A. Anderson. I appreciate your support as always. Been watching you just get ready for work. Seattle, been in the house. Shedeur Sanders is legitimately legit. Talk to him. I like it. I like it. I appreciate you for all your support, C.A. Anderson. Also, C.A. Anderson, you had a good word last week. You had a good word last week. He said Shedeur is him. He's going to be ready. He's going to do his thing. He did it. He did it. So I appreciate you. Hopefully you have a wonderful day at work. I appreciate all your support. Thank you so much. I think I was here. The Titans was trying hard to win that game. Why didn't they keep the same energy during the whole season? It was their Super Bowl. Somebody said it during the game. They said this is Titans Super Bowl. This is the most watched game they're going to be in all year. So they were juiced up for it. They can't get juiced up for every game, I guess. Should have never been behind 2. That's all on Stefanski. Also, asking a running back to be the QB and make reads on the defense when you have a perfectly capable QB is insanity. Stefanski is trash. All natural. That's a fact.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
Folks need to go back to Jackson State, not Colorado. That man had rushing TDs almost every game. That's a fact. I agree with that. They even put the highlight clip out there of him and all his rushing touchdowns at Jackson State months ago when they were saying he wasn't athletic. It's just Maya waiting for the Shedeur to come back. I can see Mel Kiper laughing now. Yes, he is. They bring up the receipts from all the talking heads too. Mina Kimes, Ross Tucker, Albert Beer, everyone getting that work. Hey, talk to them. They got to get it. They got to get it. They got to get it. First Epstein files, now Stefanski files. Just waiting for the emails to be released trying to bury Shedeur. The start was the narrative that he was supposed to be a redshirt year. Major facts, Shanithia. Major facts. That's another thing. Kevin Stefanski was going to keep this on the bench the whole year. Isn't that a fireable offense? He was going to keep this on the bench the whole year. For Dylan Gabriel? Come on, man.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
That's right. It's just my fuzzy analytics. I agree. CO7 111. What's going on? Welcome. Just saying 72. I appreciate you, bro. You should go live every time UCSS is on live. I'm not gonna do the 5 days a week, but y'all got to tap in Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like, comment, subscribe. 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be here. It's an alternative, you know. I start before them, so you get 45 minutes. You get to get the feelers, see how you feeling. Then, when they start, you got a decision to make. See what you like. See what you like. I'm not afraid to go toe to toe. I'm not afraid to go toe to toe with nobody. I believe in what I put out here and the work I put in for y'all. Analytics is a way for unathletic who could never play to have a way to affect the game. Maurice, talk to him. The analytics word is very similar to QBR, time to throw. I saw Next Gen Stats put up something about time to throw for Shedeur, as if when you're coming back in the game, you're not trying to get big chunks and go down the field. The time to throw stuff don't make sense, y'all. It don't make sense. Told y'all last week it didn't make sense. If 12 was allowed to air it out yesterday, he would have hit over 500 like the TCU game. Real fresh food. I agree. I agree with you. Bet Stanky searches have increased per Google. Yep, Tim, I agree. They didn't go for the field goal the same reason they punted on the 20-yard line. The reason they run the wild trash. Kevin Stefanski doesn't want to win. I hope Kevin Stefanski got it in writing that they bringing him back next year regardless. I hope he got it in writing. Otherwise, it's over. Stefanski probably thinks he's cleared now because the rest of the team on the schedule are projected to beat the Browns. But Shedeur is getting comfortable, so expect to win one or two of them. Talk to him. Van is in the building. We got Van live 2 days in a row. Van, what's going on? Shout out to you for being here. My phone isn't blowing up yet, but if y'all hear that he let him go, let me know. If y'all hear, let me know. Where is that Aditi reporter? Probably somewhere weirding out. Sia Anderson, when she said Shedeur plays street football, I was so hot at that comment because you are saying this guy cannot read defenses. Last week, after the San Francisco 49ers game, I came on here every single day and I told y'all, Shedeur can read the field. He doesn't trust it. He's not throwing it to him. I told y'all that. I said, every day I was like, he sees it. He doesn't trust him. I kept telling y'all that last week. I never changed from that sentiment. I watched the TV copy of last week's games 2 times. I watched all 22 of all Shedeur's passes, I think 3 or 4 times. When I watched it, I had zero doubt that he understood where he was supposed to go. I had zero doubt he knew where he was supposed to go. I knew he did not trust him. I knew he didn't trust him. So when Aditi was saying that street ball stuff, I did not like it in the moment. When she was saying she would take Kenny Pickett over him, when Geno Smith has been terrible this year, he still can't get on the field. It's just the receipts, and these are the people that I just mute. I tune them out. They didn't know what they were talking about in the moment, and in the long term, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just wrong. Real Fresh Food, talk to him. Hit the like button for your boy. That girl Bree, good morning. How you doing today? Good morning, that girl Bree. He's coming on at 1 your time. Okay, 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock, okay, got you. I appreciate that. Van, what's going on? I always see you in the comments, definitely tapping into the replay, so shout out to you. Van, everybody wearing flip-flops this morning. Van. They all wearing flip-flops. Every criticism they have, 1 week he dispels it the next. That's awesome. No doubt God is with him. Zedric, talk to him. Because this is the thing. They're bringing a new narrative in, and they're not using that standard across the board. Did y'all see what Patrick Mahomes looked like last night? No touchdowns, 3 interceptions. They lose the game. They can't move the ball. Did y'all see that? Would they ever say Patrick Mahomes couldn't read the defense? Would they ever say Patrick Mahomes' footwork is bad? Would they ever highlight any of those things regarding Patrick Mahomes? No, they wouldn't. Is every sports show talking about Andy Reid going for it on the wrong side of the field on 4th and 1? No, they wouldn't. So it's not a standard that they have across the board. It's a standard that they've made for Shedeur. That's why yesterday I said, I never want to hear 5th round pick, because you're holding them to a higher standard than quarterbacks who've won a Super Bowl. I don't want to hear 5th round pick no more. Y'all are holding them to a higher standard than Patrick Mahomes. We watched Patrick Mahomes play last night with their season on the line, and we saw how it ended. I never want to hear the 5th round pick stuff, because y'all giving him the standard of a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Who said he plays street ball? Aditi, the reporter. She's a sideline reporter. She's on UCSS. She's the one who said it. When Shedeur said, this is how they play, okay, I can do this. Since then, it's just been Shedeur on his path to him being him. When I saw he was talking trash with the Titans defensive player, he ready. That's a fact. And the Titans defensive player after the game said the reason why he was talking trash to Shedeur was because he wanted to see if Shedeur was really like that. And he said Shedeur was talking trash back. He realized Shedeur's like that. It was a test. If y'all notice at the end of Bucky's video, all those players was going up to Shedeur saying, hey, keep going. Hold your head up. You got this. You belong. You deserve to be here. The other teams are respecting it. Y'all see it. The other teams are walking around putting respect on Shedeur's name. So I can't listen to the nobodies on the sideline. Yes, my Texans did their thing. Did their big one last night against Kansas City. That girl Reid, they did. That defense is something else. I've been saying this when they bring up that 2-time Coach of the Year stuff for Kevin Stefanski. D'Amico Ryan should have been Coach of the Year in 2023. That was his award that they did not give to him. He should have been Coach of the Year in 2023. They didn't give it to him. They never say Patrick Mahomes plays street ball. That's a fact. It's just Maya. That's why I had such a big problem with it, because it wasn't about the style of play. It was to further the narrative that Shedeur cannot read the defense. That's why I didn't like it. If y'all notice, not a lot of stuff really just get me where I just kind of go off about it. That was one, because I knew what she meant by it. I knew what she meant by it. Did Kenny Pickett play? I'm not sure if Kenny Pickett played in yesterday's game. I haven't really had a chance. I don't believe he's played, though. I don't believe he's played. I know up until I haven't seen Kenny Pickett on the field up until before yesterday's game. So he ain't been able to get out here. I don't know if he played yesterday, though. They can win one or two more if the defense comes to play. They could do it. Detroit Gemini, I agree. Shedeur was smiling throughout the game. He was so unbothered. I agree. He was. He was. Because it's starting to click. All the people who said reps don't matter, you see him getting way more comfortable with more reps. So how do you say reps don't matter? Reps matter for everybody else except Shedeur. Shedeur is supposed to go out there and create a miracle with no reps. The negative media is in shock of their lives. If you watch 12 since high school, you know that 12 has that thing his dad has, the desire to win. He is going to try to win every last one. Totally agree. Totally agree with that. Need a full game next week from all parties to beat the Bears next week. I agree. Zedric, I just don't have faith in them making the proper adjustments in the third quarter. I tell y'all, the third quarter is the hindrance of this team offensively, and every third quarter looks like this. It doesn't matter the quarterback. It doesn't matter the quarterback. The Chiefs are starting to lose that championship edge. It happens to all former great teams. The respect isn't there anymore. Yep. They got to bring somebody in who is young. They need a lot of young people who don't know no better, and that's what will change it around for the Chiefs. Who knew Cam Newton would be the one to come through on first take? He said head coach made a few fireable offenses. You can't hide it anymore. You can't hide it no more. Shadeur Sanders is cool and calm. Miles says Shedeur is getting better and better each week. Yes, he did. Hey, he's getting better with the reps. They're saying it to you. Remember when they asked Shedeur about being taken off the field, and he said, you know, every player wants the ball in their hands every play, and he said sometimes you got to kick the field goal. Y'all know that Drewski meme What you mean by that? They're saying it in the media. Even though it was a loss, it feels like 12, like a win. 12 turned all the way up. He did. It is, and they start slow, need a first drive score. That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. What we got next, y'all? Let's see what I got next on the docket as we go through this thing. Oh, man. Acho.
The rookie running back, number second round pick, didn't execute. It was open for a touchdown. And if we really want to talk ball, and I'll let Shady check me on this, y'all know I ain't got too much pride to not be checked. Shady knows. Offense.
Have you ever had a dream that you want to.
We don't care, Acho. We're just waiting for Shady. We don't care. So what Acho was trying to do is Acho was trying to say the play was open. The play is open. That's what he's trying to do. Haven't watched the film yet, but 12 definitely got better from watching in game. Big Facts Media, he did. Big Facts Media, you saw him get better. I was saying it. I was like, hey, he sees it. He just don't trust him. I told y'all he just didn't trust him. Anthony Lima needs to stay on that side. He's trying to say he only reported that Shedeur wasn't ready because that's what the coaches told him.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Anthony Lyman, that's not going to work. You know why that's not going to work? Because FB Tings pulled up posts that you've been hating on Coach Prime since 2011. So that's not going to work. If you are a microphone, you need to stop being a microphone. You need to go out there, put in the work, watch the film, get a better understanding of football, and stop listening to these people. I told people early on, it was no reason to listen to Kevin Stefanski because he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's seeing. He hasn't done anything where we should believe what he says. So if you decided to be a microphone and you decided to just make the points that Stefanski was telling you on the side louder, that is on you. That is on your laziness. That is on your failure to do the work. If you put in the work, you won't be a microphone. So Lima, Ja Morant is going to talk to you all week.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Stay on that side, Lima. Lima, you get no pass because you was egregious with it. You get no pass. Lima, you can never come on this side. The rope is closed. Nobody else is getting allowed in, especially not you. Especially not you, Lima. A.M. Williams, what's going on? Miles can't say what's really happening behind the scenes. He can't put it out there. If defense can shut Caleb down, the Browns can win. They don't give Caleb his kudos either, but if he shuts down the Bears, don't win. I agree with you there. He made no sense. All those plays included a quarterback. There's no point in listening to him. What he's trying to do is he's trying to say the play would have worked. The play would have worked. What's the biggest problem with that, y'all? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. The play would have worked. The play would have worked. Okay. Okay. Acho needs to be checked all the time. All the time. All the time. Yeah, we not listening to Acho. We not listening to Acho. It's going to be spicy this week. That sound clip just took me out. Yeah, we ain't listening to him. How about a game plan? The Browns was stuck on passing QB but could not adjust to the run game even when they saw it plainly. And Miles said it after the game. After the game, Miles said, we didn't adjust to stop the run, so then we can rush the passer. He called it out. It was simple. Stefanski is one of three things. He sucks as a coach. He's under the NFL 32's plantation thumb, or he's under the thumb. It's bigger than what we know. That's the only thing that would explain it. Acho does the media thing. Shady, you've seen this before. Get someone to agree with your statement before you make it. There you go. They ask you that question. You agree with that, right? Or they say, right? Right? That's what they do. Mentioning that Kevin Stefanski is a 2-time coach of the year after complaining about his play calling devalues the award. Talk to him. They don't listen to what they even say. They don't even listen to what they say. So I'm going to show y'all. Y'all know I can't show videos, but y'all know I watched the film. I don't just tell y'all I watched the film. I watched the film. So this is the play. This is the infamous play, y'all. So you starting off, you got one receiver in the game. You got a number 71 is a tackle. He's eligible. This is the first clip. This is before it starts. This is when this play starts. They're snapping the ball to Quinshon Judkins. You see nobody is running with Gage. Nobody. Let me show y'all. Let me do this. Because everybody taking a cheap and lazy way out. Okay. Nobody's running with Gage. Nobody's running with him. He's flat-footed. He's not running. Okay. This is where Acho is trying to say the play would have worked. Okay. All right. He has the ball. Now, what Acho is saying is if they pitch the ball right here and he holds his block, he has the option to cut in here. If he turns him, he has the option to go outside. They can score. Okay. We hear you. We hear you. I get what you're saying. The problem is he doesn't pitch it. Everybody is not designed to make the decision in high pressure situations. Everybody is not designed to make the decision in high pressure situations. Everybody's not designed for that, y'all. Everybody's not designed for it. So if your argument is the play would have worked, the only way the play works is if the play works. That's it. Woulda, coulda, shoulda doesn't matter. It only works if it works. If you put a person in a position and they have a mental blunder and they don't make the play that's supposed to happen, it's a failure. It's a failure. Because you chose to put them in a high pressure situation and bank on them making the play when they normally are not in a position to make a high pressure decision. So putting those players in that position at that point in the game was a mistake regardless of the play. Regardless of the play, you put the wrong players in high pressure situation. You had a quarterback who is handling high pressure situations in this game comfortably with no sweat. No sweat at all. He's handling. You put a running back in that position, he has a mental break. He thinks about it. Man, I'm past him. I was supposed to pitch him the ball. Before the play happens, it was a mistake. So the people who are going to do, oh, but it's open over here, I don't want to hear that. You put the wrong people in a high pressure situation. The wrong people. That's why it failed. So that argument, I don't want to hear it. If every play works in the NFL, nobody loses. Sometimes plays don't work because you put the wrong people in high pressure situations. That's the issue. So, and also Big Facts Media, it didn't work the first time. When they got to the red zone and they ran Wildcat, they shut it down. They called out on, I heard the audios, we're watching the game together. They called out before the play, that's where he's running to, and they shut it down. So then you build off of the first play that didn't work. It don't make sense. Caleb knows who 12 is. If the Browns defense can get it together, they win. Caleb remembers Colorado versus USC 2023 season. He does. Shedeur almost walked Caleb and USC down during that game. I remember. Stefanski is a fraud. He is. Thank you for explaining the field goal. I wonder why they did not do it. It made no sense not to do it. That is something you do if you are the away team, not if you're the home team. So it doesn't even make sense. Doesn't make sense. I am definitely glad to have you here. Analysts that put Coach of the Year on the pedestal because they vote on it. Narcissistic behavior. Talk to him. I think Judkins didn't trust Gage with the ball. Even if he didn't trust him, it's a mental error. He should have never been in a position to make the mental error. D was Junkins playing hero ball. I don't think he was. I think he's not used to having to make multiple decisions and multiple reads on the play. So his first read was he had 2 reads to make on the play. 2 reads to make. So let me pull it back up for y'all real quick. And he's not used to doing this. And it's not fair to put him in this position. So a quarterback is used to having to make the read on if they're in zone or if they're in man or how to defend it. So this is the first read. He has to look before he snaps the ball, send him in motion, and he has to determine if the cornerback is running with him. That's the first read he has to make. Then during the play, he has to make the read to throw the ball to gauge so he can go around. But this is a compound read situation. Most running backs would not make this decision properly if they haven't been doing this a long time. So if they've never played quarterback, if they've never been in situations to make multiple reads on the play, this is what you get. Most good running backs are required to make one good read on the play. One good read. They make one good read, go. That's it. They're not used to making multiple reads. That's the issue with this play. That's why it was a poor decision from the coach to even go to this play. You put him in a situation that he's not comfortable with, that he hasn't been asked to do this. So you're asking a running back to make that decision and pitch. I agree. It was poor decision. I'm back. Acho is a step and fetch it. Yeah, Acho got to go. It would have worked with an actual QB on the field. That's just it, Maya. It would have worked. Quarterbacks are used to making those multiple reads throughout a play, not running backs. Brent, Acho has Shedeur Sanders, the Ranger syndrome. Yeah, he does. Got to keep talking about him. Don't need to see Wildcat for the rest of the year, if I'm being honest. That's a fact. They go to the Wildcat because they're not creative. They're not creative. I've been saying that to y'all. I keep saying they're not creative. They're not creative. They're predictable. They're not creative. And I think people hear me say that and they kind of don't really see how it breaks down into an actual play. But when the defense knows what to expect from you, they will defeat it every time. Every time. If you look at offensive lineman and defensive lineman, the better athlete 9 times out of 10, unless you're a top at your position, is the defensive lineman. So if they know what to do, they know what's coming, they're going to be the offensive lineman. They're going to stop a play. That's just what it is. That's what it is. Then Junkins didn't know what to do after the mistake was made. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do. That's right, Maya. Then he's like, I'm just going to throw it, because they also had an option to throw the ball on the play. So let me get this back up. They had an option to throw the ball on this play. So I want y'all to, I'm going to show y'all the options. They had an option. Where is interact? They had an option to throw the ball to him right here. This alignment. Let's go back. Let me clear it. It was an option to throw the ball on this play. That is too many decisions. That's too many decisions. Starts here. You got to make a decision on man-to-man coverage. Here, you got to pitch it. And also, you see it here as they're crashing down. You see the lineman is an option to throw the ball. Should have never put him in that position. Should have never put him in that position. That's why I can't go for Acho saying the play would have worked. Should not have put him in that position. Does Stefanski know that the Wildcat has a short time where it's effective? I guess not. When everybody was defending the Wildcat early, they look crazy now. All the people who said, remember the first time we saw the Wildcat when Shedeur was starting, and I said that first time it's okay, but after that, when they ran it at midfield, I said, nope, no more Wildcat. And everybody came out and said, oh, this is not about Shedeur. This is not about Shedeur. It's about the team. And then all those people who defended it then, they got mush mouth. They can't say anything today. They got to sit somewhere quiet. They can't come back because they saw it break down and they saw it not work. That's why they so quiet today. For the record, DG wouldn't have made that play either. Yeah. Maya, you already know this. We don't even got to say DG. We don't even got to say it. Stay on the bench, man. After the first red zone attempt where he ran it and got stuffed, what made them think it would work later? No feel for the game. No feel. No feel. That's one of the things I pointed out on the live stream. I said, why are you going back to a play that didn't work the first time? You build off of successful plays, not failed plays. It doesn't make sense. Teams will put in a package specifically for Wildcat. I agree. And the Wildcat was designed because the team did not have a quarterback that they trust. So they were running Wildcat the whole game. The Miami Dolphins. They were running it the whole game because you didn't have a quarterback you trust. So now you have a quarterback you trust. What are you doing? What are you doing? Treatment for the players will be huge this week. Too many starters with injuries. Yes. Brent, that's exactly it. Wildcat, zero confidence in your QB. They installed the Wildcat because of Dillon Gabriel and his inability to get points on the board in the red zone. They still act as if Shedeur is Dillon Gabriel, even though he's in the red zone throwing touchdowns. Because remember what happened. That first drive, they did Wildcat. They did jet sweep, and then Shedeur threw a touchdown pass. The last drive, he threw the touchdown pass to Harold Fannin. So he is not Dillon Gabriel. You got to understand who is out there. You got to understand who is out there. Shedeur is not Dillon Gabriel. They're not the same. They're not the same. Let's go. Let's go to Unc. I told y'all we're going to get the Unc.
Look at the numbers he put up today. As well as he was playing all game long, right? You want to put the ball in your best player.
Marcy, what's going on? What's going on? I've been looking for the haters. They quiet today. I mean, all of them. Yes. Y'all know the crickets. If you live in the South, you sit on that porch late at night, it's quiet, it ain't no traffic. You just sitting out there chilling, unwinding from the day. You just hear the crickets and you hear nature. Nobody's showing up. Nobody's there. They not talking today. Everybody's sick. DG, a.k.a. the afterthought. Yeah, he the afterthought. Dillon is an afterthought. We got to stop bringing up a third backup QB. No name. Slow down on that dog. Yeah, he just out there. We know what he is. You know I love me some Quinshon Judkins, but he is getting stuffed out there. He is. They need more passes over the top because teams are designing their entire defense to stop the run. So you got to beat them in pass, and then it'll open up the run. The injuries was the reason that I was against Shedeur just getting the last 4 games. Yeah. I just wanted Shedeur to get tape out there. I just wanted Shedeur to get tape out there so Shedeur would have an opportunity where his football would do the talking. I wanted his football to tell the narrative. I wanted his football to be the story. I wanted his abilities to shine. That's what I wanted. I always saw it like that. I just had faith that he would be able to make some stuff happen. I had faith that he would be able to do things that Flacco and Dillon couldn't do. I just had faith in Shedeur based on his football regimen, his acumen. So I always wanted him to get out there. Unc crashed out last night. He did. He was going off.
His hands that has a hot hand at the right time. Who is that?
Shedeur.
So if you are going to go for 2, if you're going to make that decision to go for 2, you put the ball in your quarterback's hands who just drove you down, not once, but twice on back-to-back drives to get you a chance to win the game or at least tie the game. I think, I was so confused by this. I had to make 2 phone calls. I had to make 2 phone calls to people who have been head coaches before, just to make sure I can get a better understanding and get a better perspective and context on what was being made. But obviously, even though they're not coaching anymore right now, even though they're not a part of the NFL right now, the answers they gave me were PC. So they wouldn't give me what I really wanted to hear, and I'm not going to say any names, but Stefanski, I can't say anything about it being fired because this is the reason why they didn't want Shedeur starting in the first place. Because now you see
what he's capable of. Because everybody said if he'd have started at the beginning of the season, what could we have been?
And this is exactly why they didn't want him starting. This is exactly why he wasn't getting any reps, because they understood what you would get once he gets in there and he gets acclimated to the system with his players and he gets any kind of chemistry and continuity with that offense. This is what you get.
Doesn't everybody sound like us now? Doesn't everybody sound like the conspiracy theorists? Doesn't everybody sound like us now? Doesn't everybody sound like us? Isn't everybody now questioning Kevin Stefanski? Isn't everybody over Kevin Stefanski? isn't everybody saying, man, they really just didn't want Shedeur to play? Doesn't everybody sound like the conspiracy theorists that they called us? It's only a conspiracy until you're proven right. When you're proven right, that's when they disappear. When you're proven right, that's when they disappear. I don't want to hear conspiracy no more. Conspiracy and football, I don't want to hear them in the same sentence when you're talking about this. When you're talking about people who had belief in Shedeur Sanders as a football player, I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it. It's some stuff that we just got to leave in the past. We got to leave it in the past. Ocho was calling coaches. Coaches can't even explain what just happened because they know it's that bad. They know it's that bad. And they know he's going to go on the show, and they know who he's connected to, and they know he's going to call it out. They know he's going to call it out. Bad O-line play will do that, plus playing with backups. That's it. Never saw them this quiet. They super quiet. They all slept in today. Nobody reporting for work. Y'all, why was Janky Judy doing flips? I was so scared he was going to fumble the ball. He was so happy. I'm happy for him too. Yeah, Loretta, shout out to Loretta with the Janky. Her tagging that early. That's what it is. That's what it is. That was the most lucid Ocho has ever been. Because at this point, you can't deny what you're seeing. You can't deny it. Nobody can deny it. 393 yards, 4 TDs. I thought he wasn't ready. Talk to him, Ivy League Mac. Talk to him. I saw so many, I can't ignore it anymore. This is sabotage tweets yesterday. Yes. It's only a conspiracy until you're proven right. When you're proven right, they don't give you props for it. That's why I always come back and say, hey, y'all was right from the beginning. So when you're proven right, I give people props because I know most people won't do that. Most people got too much pride to give other people props. I don't. I'm going to give you props when you're right. We had people say he's going to score 4 touchdowns in the game. I think it was Through the Fire podcast said, hey, Shedeur going to have 4 touchdowns. It was people believing in Shedeur late in the game. They were right. They were right. Let's see. Is this the clip where they're going to talk about the field goal?
And the stuff you pull in when you after you score and taking them out, this is not college. No. You're not running trick plays. You're not going to fool anybody. The Wildcat is not going to work. This is not 2007. Ronnie Brown ain't back there.
And they tried to run the
Ronnie Brown ain't back there. That's a fact. Right. Jakey looking back, I was like, run, Jakey, run. Judy will forever be Janky Judy to me. Thank you, Loretta. Yeah, Loretta, it was right on time. Janky still isn't off the hooks. Stefanski needs to be fired. Carry on. Yeah, he got to go. He got to go.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
They can't parrot the lies anymore. I agree with Ivy League Mac. Cam has, I believe, 10 touchdowns for the season. Shedeur has 7. I think at 3 starts. And Stefanski stole a few from Shedeur. That's crazy work. Yep. Darkness coming to the light, y'all. Darkness coming to the light. I want to see where Unc is going off about the field goal. Let me see. I think it's here. Do you think they will sit Shedeur for Deshaun Watson to see where Watson now? Nope. No chance. I called it before the season. Deshaun Watson wasn't going to play this year. People were going back and forth for me. No reason for Deshaun Watson to play. I don't see it. And I'm standing on that. Deshaun Watson will not play this year. It was even reports came out Friday and Saturday. Deshaun Watson not going to play this year. So I'm still standing on that. Deshaun Watson won't play. Deshaun Watson was used as a distraction from the Dylan Gabriel fiance situation. That's what I believe. Stefanski's new name is Stanky. Janky and Stanky. I want to hear Unc when he's going off about the field goal.
I had to call 2 of my former coaches to get a better perspective on what they were doing because you've been a head coach. Please explain to me. You've been in that position before. If that was you, why do you call a play like that? And of course, they wouldn't give me an answer. They wanted to keep it PC. Like, come
well, first
on, man.
of all, you should have been in that situation because you should have kicked the PAT to begin with. Why the hell you go for 2 on the first PAT? You're only down 14. You're down an even number. So why the hell are you going? Why are you going for 2 on the first PAT? If you just kick it, now you're down 7. Now you don't have to chase the second point.
There you go. Talk to him, Unc. Talk to him. What about the 21-day eligibility? The 21-day eligibility. The Browns, once they initiated that, they have 21 days to determine if he'll go to the active roster or if he will go to injured reserve. It's not a foregone conclusion that he's going to go to the active roster. Based on what Shedeur did yesterday, it would be no reason for them to move off of Shedeur. So the 21-day window, they got to make a decision on him. Active roster, injured reserve for the year. That's all the 21-day window stuff is. That's why as soon as they announced it, I said it. That's why I said I don't think he's going to play. Stefanski and the Browns thought they were down 15. If they J.R. Smith this situation and didn't know the score, that's a reason to be fired. Is the payout on the insurance for Watson still available? From what I saw in the research I did, if he plays, they don't get the insurance payout. If he misses the full year, they get the insurance claim on his guaranteed salary this year. So I believe the number, it might have been 44. It's something crazy. Maybe 44, 30 million, something like that. So seeing what Deshaun Watson is for one game and just writing a check to lose about 40 million, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. I've been calling him Stank. Dillon only had 7 TDs and 6 starts, and he played in some of Flacco's games. Yes, get rid of Karen Stanky or let Shedeur go to another team. Decisions will be had. They will be made. Karen Stanky. Stefanski kept calling the Wildcat to maintain the narrative that Shedeur wasn't ready and couldn't be trusted. Those lies have been exposed in living color. Yep. Them fans in Cleveland do not like Deshaun Watson. That's a fact, Charmaine. Cleveland media will make it about Shedeur against Deshaun Watson all offseason. Watch. They will. When the season is over, I'm just going to give you all the plan when the season is over. When the season's over, we're going to talk about draftings. We're going to talk about current sports. So we're going to talk about NFL playoffs. We're going to do watch parties for the playoffs. We're going to be looking at college players. We're going to be talking more NBA. We're going to go and expand our scope. We're not just going to talk about Browns 5 days a week when it's not much there. So that's what they're going to do. But we're going to be still involved actively in what's happening in sports. So we're going to keep the watch parties going. We're going to be doing watch parties for college bowl games, watch parties for NFL playoffs. So that's what we're going to do. We're not going to play into those narratives. If nothing else, people should see the Cleveland media created all these narratives so they can talk about things all year. We're not going to fall for it. We're not going to play those games with them. We're going to live in the current world of what's going on, not them creating stories. We're not going to do it. If you listen to a story from the Cleveland media this offseason, that's your own choice. That is your own choice. So if you listen to them, that's your own choice. I'm not going to spend time listening to them because they lost all their credibility that they had remaining this offseason. And now they got backed up against the wall so bad by Kevin Stefanski that now they got to lash out at Stefanski and they got to say, hey, I was just repeating what they said to me. That's how bad it got, y'all. I was just repeating what was said to me. So I can't take those people serious. I can't listen to those people. I can't do it. Let's get back to Unc. Oh, thank you, Real Fresh Food. The insurance payout is $44.3 million. That's a fact. Do the Browns have cap space for a great wide receiver? I wouldn't advise the Browns to I wouldn't advise them to sign a wide receiver. I would advise the Browns to draft a top-tier wide receiver, Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, high draft pick. That's what I want to see. Because then even if you get him top 10, you're going to be paying him about $15 million a year. If you go sign a high-paid wide receiver, it's going to be $30 to $40 million a year. So you basically get him younger and half the cost. So I wouldn't advise them to sign a great wide receiver. Draft one. Deshaun Watson and Shedeur needs to create an alliance and control the narrative. They both put out their own media. So they got an opportunity to. They put out their own media. Let's listen a little bit more to Unc. We still got more to go, y'all.
That's what makes
we still gonna hear what ESPN said this morning on Get Up. I can't show the video, but I'm gonna play the audio for y'all. We still got the audio from Chris Kenny. We still got more to go, y'all. We still got more to go.
No sense to me. Nothing. First of all, it didn't make who he started. He went with Flacco. Okay, fine. They said Dylan Gabriel. They drafted him in the 3rd round.
Welcome back, Marie.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
Okay, whatever the case may be, we can't go back in time, undo what's already done. But moving forward, the guy gives you a great opportunity to win. A great opportunity. He's playing his ass off. And you undercut him by taking him off the field. You undercut him by going for 2 when it's unnecessary. I'm just trying to figure out, and I don't want to use the word sabotage, but I will say I'm trying to understand your rationale and your thought process, what goes into going for 2 the first time when you're only down 14, you kick the PAT, you're down 7. Okay, now you're down 8 because you didn't get the first PAT. I mean, the first 2-point conversion. So now you're down 8, you gotta go for it. What goes into a rationale? After you see what your quarterback has done, why would you take him off the field and ask somebody that doesn't play the position? Are you really trusting someone that hasn't thrown a pass to throw a pass in that situation, in that moment, at that juncture of the game? You really want to do that, Ocho? Is that really what you want to do, chat? Hell no.
That's what I say. It was 3 decisions that were supposed to be made on that play. 3 decisions. And you have your quarterback make those decisions because they're used to making multiple reads on the play. You don't put a running back in that position. He had to read the cornerback off of the motion. He had to decide to pitch it. And he also had to throw it if it was available in a touchdown. You don't put him in that position. I'm glad you're going to keep your show going after the season over. Yeah, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. We're going to do we're going to do a whole lot because, of course, I watch the Browns. I like the Browns. I enjoy football. But I know just because the Browns are not making the playoffs, football still goes on. And I know a lot of people are fans of other teams, so the show must go on. The show must go on. Must go on. Why not use the word sabotage? I think people have came to the conclusion, and this is where I was hitting at people saying stuff that I'll be saying. It's incompetence. It's incompetence. If you say sabotage, this is what happens. If you say sabotage, what people will do is that is about character. That's about character. So what people will do is you never get to the conversation. When you say incompetence, you have to have the conversation. So not saying sabotage is to not play the word fighting that people will try to do. When you say incompetence, you have to have the conversation. So what people are doing is they're forcing people to have the conversation. You're going to talk. You say sabotage, they go to character. Well, he hasn't shown it. I don't care about none of that. You say incompetence, you got to talk. You got to defend it. You have to defend it at that point. He wants to create turmoil on his way out. All right. That's what people do. End of the road, they burn the thing down. Coach Stefanski is calling his plays like his old playing Madden and getting results you expected. Big L. That's a fact. That's a fact. He trying to start the game over, y'all. Trying to start the game over. Nah, take your L.
They doing that on purpose. They doing it on purpose. And it's just not this. Just think about since training camp. Just think about all the games they've continued to play. Their organization has continued to play, with Shedeur, just in general. They did not want Young Bull to be a starter because they understood if he gets the opportunity to play, the numbers you see him putting up, him getting an opportunity to play, he's going to give them their best chance to win. They don't want to win. Or if they do want to win, they don't want to win with him behind center. That's the only.
There you go. He got to it. They don't want to win with him behind center. I think it was around week 4, and I was telling y'all, it's one person in this organization that doesn't want to see Shedeur play because then they will be questioned. I think it was week 4 when I said this. And I said, I asked the chat, and y'all said Kevin Stefanski, and I said Kevin Stefanski. Because if Shedeur comes out and balls, Kevin Stefanski is automatically fired. Because Kevin Stefanski put out all the noise about Shedeur. Automatically fired. This is the last thing he wants. It's the last thing. It's the last thing he wants. It's no way to hide Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski cannot make it through another season after this. Salute to you, Ivy League Mac. Yeah, you can't just go one way. You gotta listen to it from everybody. From everybody. You gotta hear it. You gotta hear it. So I appreciate you, Ivy League Mac. 12 is used to working with what he's got. If he had the same receivers and necessary reps, they could have at least been a 500 team. They simply didn't want 12 to do it. Ocho finally got there at the end. And I agree with you, Real Fresh Food. Finally at the end, they got there. Because how crazy do you look if you were going upstairs telling them, hey, he can't play this whole year. He's that far behind. Now, when this is happening and this is what he's putting on the field, you look crazy. It's the last thing you want. The last thing you want. Let's get to ESPN. I got some ESPN for y'all. For ESPN, I'm not going to play the video because with ESPN, I'll get a copyright if they haven't already released the video. So I got 2 of them. We're going to get to. Which one we got first? This one is Get Up. So this is what I'm going to use to cover Get Up. Stefanski is not coaching to win because if Shedeur Sanders plays too well, that will be #1 question in every post-Browns job interview. Facts. That's what I said. Ivy League Mac. You got some splaining to do. The cat is out the bag. It's out there. Nobody can defend it. In the offseason, can you break down the roles of the coordinator, such as offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, plus head coach? Oh, yeah, definitely. I could do that. Definitely. That's definitely a good that's a good thing to do in the offseason, especially we're going to be looking for some coaches in the offseason, y'all. So that's definitely a good one, C.A. Anderson. Give me just a second. I keep notes. Over here, so let me put that in my notes real quick because I like that suggestion. So bear with me. Actually, I could play this clip for y'all. This is Get Up. They did not spend much time talking about this. Everybody was waiting to hear what Get Up was going to say. This is all Get Up said. I'm going to play the audio. For y'all.
In the snow. Neek, who made the worst coaching decision?
Hold on, that's not loud enough. Let me make this louder for y'all.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was the Browns and deciding while Shedeur was having a great game for a rookie to get down and go for the 2-point conversion. They take him all the way off the field and have Quinshon Judkins making back body throws, torquing his body to throw back. It's just ridiculous. This is, I don't know. You have a quarterback
The second time this year that they took away a moment that Shedeur Sanders could have had, and I know that it probably isn't premeditated, but it feels like it.
Yeah, no.
And the whole world feels like it. He played great yesterday, Dan.
Yeah,
Shedeur played great.
Yeah, he had some big-time throws. I agree with you. Like, at some point, he marches you right down the field. Big game. I want to see it. I would love to see you go make that play.
There's only one person in the world who didn't want to see it, and that was the coach who called this nonsense at the end of the game. D. Wood, who made the best play in the NFL?
Y'all hear that? That's what Get Up got to say. I'm happy Greeny called out and said it's nonsense. Greeny said that's nonsense. That's nonsense. Should have never happened that way. I'm happy Greeny said it. And I'm happy he didn't mince his word. Rex wasn't there. Rex called in sick. Rex didn't make it. Rex did not make it this morning. Shout out to Through the Fire podcast, as always.
Oh my God! Wow! I got money.
Appreciate all your support as always. Why do so many talking heads keep saying Shedeur had 3 TDs when we watched him get 4 TDs? The hate seems nuclear for 12. You know what the issue is through the Fire podcast? They're looking at the stats. They're looking at the stats. You know what the problem with that is? They don't even realize he ran for a touchdown because they said he wasn't athletic. They don't even realize it. That's why they're only saying 3. They don't even realize he accounted for 4. Every time they talk about Josh Allen, they talk about his rushing touchdowns. They talk about Jalen Hurts. They talk about his rushing touchdowns. Lamar, rushing touchdowns. Every time they talk about Jackson Dart, they talk about what he does with his legs. They are so used to only critiquing Shedeur as a thrower because they believed he couldn't run. They don't even count the other touchdown he scored. He scored it. They don't even count that. That exposes their bias. That exposes it. Just like that through the Fire. We watched him score the touchdown. We watched him do it. They don't even count it. And these are the people that we're supposed to get honesty from. We're supposed to get honest takes from. We're supposed to get integrity in their takes. And they don't even want to use all his stats. If Shedeur got sacked 6 times yesterday, do you think we would have heard about it? If he got sacked 6 times, would we have heard about it? If his QBR was 8, do you think we would have heard about it? How do you not give him credit for a touchdown he ran for? And it wasn't a QB sneak. It wasn't a tush push. He made something happen on a busted play and scored the touchdown. That would be a highlight for any other quarterback. It exposes their true level of hate for Shedeur. They don't even give him credit for his stats that he earned. That's what it is. I always tell y'all, when somebody didn't watch the game, they read the stats. When they read the stats, I don't even feel no type of way about what they say because I'm like, they didn't watch the game. They don't know what happened. It's so bad. Just to bring this point home to y'all, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how it shows up on ESPN, because if you look on your phone on ESPN at stats, you got to scroll over to see if he did anything rushing. Let me see if it does that on here. Let me look at the box score. Let me see how it shows it. Well. Let me show y'all something. Let me take this picture down because we're done with that for now. We're going to get back to it. Okay. Now, these are stat readers. They just read the stats. If you go to ESPN, let me see. Okay. Y'all see Shedeur stats, right? Through the Fire podcast, this is what you are witnessing in real time. They're going right across the line right here, y'all. This is what they're doing. Let me get it up here. And sometimes you got to take your time to expose the stuff that they're doing. So we're going to take our time right here. That's what they're doing. They're reading that line right there. That's what they're doing. They're saying 23 of 42, 364 yards, 3 touchdowns, an interception, and 2 sacks. You notice when the QBR is 56, they don't talk about it. They're reading QB rating. That's what they're reading to you. This is what they are not doing, y'all. They are not going one line below that, because more people will highlight this if they watch the game. If you go right down, who is the leading rusher for the Cleveland Browns? I got to ask the questions, y'all. The leading rusher for the Cleveland Browns was Shedeur Sanders. They didn't watch the game, y'all. But they got to have their Shedeur take. They didn't watch the game. Shedeur was the leading rusher for the Browns. They only looked at the stats. Even if they would have went to rushing, they would have saw he had 3 carries, 29 yards, and a touchdown. His long was 14 yards. Quinshon Judkins was 14 to 26. no touchdowns. His long was 14 yards. They are reading the stats. When I tell y'all they just reading the stats, they're reading the stats. How can we take these people serious? How can we take them serious? So people like that, I just laugh at them because I'm like, this is so basic and it's so easy to show what you're doing. Don't even feel no type of way about those people. Just write them off. Don't feel no type of way. That's not an honest conversation. Y'all keep hearing me say honest conversation and not an honest conversation. It's not an honest conversation when people are not willing to acknowledge the fact Shedeur Sanders was the leading rusher for the Browns. There's your full answer through the Wire podcast. I appreciate you and I appreciate all your support. That is your full answer right there. That's your full answer. Full breakdown of what's happening. If y'all notice, I just laugh when they start talking. They didn't watch the game. They didn't watch it. Lazy. Lazy. Let's get to what we got next. I think I got Get Up for y'all. No, that was Get Up. I have Unsportsmanlike with Chris Canty. Let me get that for y'all. Let me get the picture. That was the first one. Let's see what they got to say on Unsportsmanlike. Let me get the video. Let me hit some of y'all comments too before I get the video. All right. If 12 is not ready, give me 53 of them. Talk to him. He's making strides in 3 weeks. He had first team reps. That's enough proof that Kevin Stefanski is incompetent. Maya, I agree. Now we all know why Sanders wasn't getting first team reps. That's a fact, Ivy League Mac. You see they wanted to keep Tommy now. I don't want Tommy. Tommy is not creative. That's why he had to keep running the Wildcat because he's not creative. When you have a winning mentality, I can see how this could mentally break a person. It drives me nuts to watch this every week. I've always been one that fights to win. Losing isn't an option for me. Real Fresh Food, talk to him. Some people are okay with being a loser. And some people are not. The people who are not okay with being a loser, they get looked at like they're crazy. I was looking for Rex this morning, nowhere to be found. There's a network out there for guys like Stefanski and they take care of each other. I agree. Call Rex at home. Yeah, what's his cell number? I need it. I need a cell number. He throwing up. Had Shedeur not played well, he would have been there. I agree. Ivy League Mac, you see it. Spotting the non-game watchers. They're not watching. Not watching the game. They just talking. That's a fact. I just broke it down how they got it wrong and why they got it wrong. Some folks were harping on the 2 sacks. Have a seat. Yeah, have a seat. Have a seat. How many sacks did anybody else take yesterday? That was Stephen A. Smith did on First Take. And just think, how could I be breaking down what these people doing without even watching them? I'm here with y'all. I'm not watching First Take. I'm here with y'all. How could I break down what he's doing without watching? Because it doesn't make sense, y'all. That's why. Makes 0 sense. All right, let's get to Chris Canty. Let me get the video up. Where's my video button? They are not watching. Let's go here. Where you at?
Play the interception.
The coach can be bad and sabotaging. 2 things can be true. The sabotage is real. I just say, when I say sabotage, people will take it to character, and I'm not letting people off the hook. That's why I say incompetence, because then you got to have a conversation. That's why I say incompetence, because they can't avoid the conversation. So even if you go anywhere and you say they're sabotaging Shedeur, it becomes a character conversation, not a performance-based conversation. Incompetence does not let the person who is dishonest off the hook. I'm not that emotionally attached to words where it has to be said one way when I know that they're going to play a game. Once we identify that they're playing the game of not having a conversation with sabotage, you remove that word, you say incompetence, they got to have the conversation. So I'm not just attached to the sabotage word, because we know we got to make them have a conversation. Got to have a conversation. Never seen a group of fans hate a player so well on their team, so backwards. It's all coming to the light, y'all. It's all coming to the light. If y'all noticed, the last couple of weeks, I've been trying to get more to just showing y'all, and I've been giving y'all things to lock into that'll show you that people just don't like Shedeur. They're better off just saying, I don't like Shedeur, instead of trying to nitpick little things without even watching the game. Just say you don't like him. Just say you don't like him. Oh, I don't see him on the team next year. Just say you don't like him. I don't know if he's a franchise guy after doing something that only Joe Burrow did and something that no other Browns rookie did in 75 years. Just say you don't like him. That's all. Say you don't like him. That's all. Don't dance around it. Stand on you don't like him.
Obviously trying to force something that wasn't there, but overall.
I hate to lose. I'm still mad for Shedeur. Facts. I don't like to lose either. I can't take it. As ladies would say, have several seats. Maurice, that's right. Facts. I'm mad for him too, but I know he uses this as gas. Just watch what happens next week. That's a fact. Real Fresh Food. This is Chris Canty.
Raw, the touch that he displayed in throwing the football, especially that touchdown to Harold Fannin Jr. in the corner, phenomenal throw. The seam ball to Jerry Jeudy, phenomenal throw. Like there are just some throws that Shedeur Sanders has shown the ability to make that we haven't seen from a Cleveland Browns quarterback in the last couple of years. And so I am impressed with what he's been able to do. He's built on the performances that he's had week over week, and that's all you can ask for from a young quarterback. So I came away from that game more optimistic about Shedeur Sanders' prospects to factor into the quarterback room for the Cleveland Browns in years to come.
I like it. I like it. I agree with Chris Canty there. You're more excited for what the Browns have and what he could do going forward with more reps, more time, coaches that believe in him. Remember, I kept telling y'all the ideal thing is to have somebody who believes in Shedeur come in and be their coach. When everybody was asking me, I never moved off of it. Some things I never moved off of. That was one of them. I said at the end of the year, they just need a coach who says, I can win with Shedeur and we're going to build this thing up. I've been saying that for weeks. I never moved off of it because I had belief in Shedeur, and I knew eventually it would show the world would see. The world would see, and now the world sees it. And now everybody is either not talking about it and you hear crickets, or they're dancing around it versus just calling it out. Also, him and Aaron Rodgers are the only players to have multiple 50-yard TD passes in their first 3 starts. He's up there with some names, as he should be. Zedric, that's a fact. The stats just keep coming. They just keep coming. In every facet of life, people in general don't like those of us who have confidence in ourselves. It just is what it is. Guess what? We don't change. We still believe in us. That's a fact. You don't change who you are. You don't not be yourself every day to make somebody who's not confident in themselves feel good. You still show up as yourself every day. They got to live with it. That's their fault. That's a personal problem. That's a you problem. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. That's a you problem. They know they lost that game and it wasn't on Shedeur. Prime made grown ready. That's a fact. They won't say they do not like Shedeur Sanders because the next question is why, and we all know why they don't like Shedeur. There you go. Let's not forget that wasn't the best weather out there yesterday. It was not. Y'all know I was planning on going to the game. It was freezing cold. I said, I'm not going out there in this. I ain't going out there in this. So he did better. So it looks even more egregious the week before they wasn't letting them operate the offense. Even more egregious. And definitely Tommy Rees got to go. Whoever's saying they want to keep Tommy Rees, they tripping. Tommy Rees got to go. I don't want Tommy Rees. Cleanse. We need to cleanse. We need to cleanse this thing. I don't want it. Let's see what else they got to say on Unsportsmanlike.
To put some numbers to that gradual improvement.
Wet 11s, I hope you're still here. I hope you made it this long. This is the stat you were asking for. They're about to break it down. Hopefully this is loud enough for y'all. Let me just make sure it's a little bit louder. They're about to break down some stats and the categories that Shedeur is in.
That we've seen from Shedeur, his best statistical game up until this point. Completed 23 of 42, 364 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he had that pick. But he also ran for 29 yards, a touchdown on 3 carries. He's the first Browns player with 3 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdowns in a game since week 6 of the 2007 season. So you're
I want y'all to hear that. Let me know in the chat if y'all heard that stat she just quoted. Let me know if y'all heard the stat she just quoted. I will run it back if we have to. Let me know, did y'all hear the stat she just quoted? If y'all didn't hear it, I'm going to play it back for you. Shedeur Sanders did something that no Browns quarterback has done since 2007. Reese is a clone, nothing original. Yeah, Reese got to go. I don't want him. I don't want Reese. I don't want him. Let me see. This is 107. Let me go back just a little bit. All right, I'm going to play it back. Let me play it back. I want y'all to listen to the stat. Listen to it. Here it goes.
Shedeur, his best statistical game up until this point. Completed 23 of 42, 364 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he had that pick. But he also ran for 29 yards, a touchdown on 3 carries. He's the first Browns player with 3 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdowns in a game since week 6 of the 2007 season.
And this is the quarterback that they're saying they don't know if he's a franchise quarterback. Let's put it in the chat so we got it. First Browns QB since 2007 to have 3 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. And they don't believe he's a franchise quarterback? What are they listening to? What are they thinking? A league source earlier this morning giving just one opinion on whether they anticipate any imminent changes at the Browns. I'd be surprised. Might as well ride it out at this point. That's a loser's mentality, and I can't really get with that, but that seems like what they're doing. It seems like what they're doing. It's a loser mentality. I don't like it. Oh, from Josina Anderson. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. That's a loser's mentality. Just ride with the loss. Wow, I heard it. Go Shedeur. What was the other 1950 stat he broke? Most passing yards in a game for any Browns rookie quarterback since 1950. Since 1950, the most passing yards in the game for a rookie for the Cleveland Browns since 1950. 75 years. 75 years. So when you have somebody doing this, how are you out here saying this is not the guy? How are, like, that's just, you don't like him, that's the hate for him. This has nothing to do with his performance. I like Canty. He's been on his side from the start. He has. He's been there from the start. You got to see him play. You got to let him play. He's not playing we don't know if he's good. He didn't play none of that stuff. He's not playing that game. Let me show you. Let me show you. I'll read it to you. Shedeur Sanders is the first Browns QB with 300-plus passing yards, 3+ pass TDs, and a rush touchdown in the same game since 1950. I believe that was for a rookie. So when you're doing stuff like this and people still say, I don't know if I want to see, I don't know if he's the guy going forward next year, they don't know what they're looking at. They don't know what they're looking at. ESPN Cleveland don't know what they're looking at. Even Tony Rizzo, he hopped on the train late saying fire Stefanski. Tony Rizzo still saying the footwork stuff. They said Shedeur had some Titanic plays. These people don't know what they're looking at. Sometimes you just have to let people be who and what they are. I totally agree. Totally agree. Through the Fire podcast, got something else to say.
Oh my God! Wow! I got money.
If Dylan has done exactly half of what Shedeur did, Kevin and Pay to Play Mary Kay would be building Dylan a statue this morning. Oh my goodness. Say that again. I'm going to read Through the Fire podcast. This is so good, I'm going to read it twice. If Dylan has done exactly half of what Shedeur did, Kevin and Pay to Play Mary Kay will be building Dylan a statue this morning. Talk to him. You know they would. You know they would. You know they would. That is a fact. Through the Fire, I appreciate all your support. That is a fact right there. That's a fact. So anybody who is not giving Shedeur props today, they're just a hater. That's what they are. Let's see if there's anything else we want to hear from them.
Shedeur.
And Cam,
I think Chris Canty's going to say more.
his body, which wasn't
See what else? I think this is him speaking more.
Who was balling, you should be fired. That is a fire.
All right, let me go back. Chris Canty got something else to say. Let's play it.
On a play call like that, and you take Shedeur Sanders, who accounted for 4 touchdowns up until that point in the game, you take him off the field, and you ask your running back to potentially throw the ball. I'm going to say this. If you're in the Wildcat in a gotta-have-it situation and you're not running the ball, and you take your quarterback off the field who was balling, you should be fired. That is a fireable offense. Now, I don't think that's going to be the undoing of Kevin Stefanski, but it does raise an eyebrow as to what the hell is going on in Cleveland. And why won't you entrust Shedeur Sanders in that critical moment of the game where he's the reason why you got back in the game? You're talking about a double-digit lead for the Tennessee Titans in the second half. And they ate into that and found a way to be back in that game. And Shedeur Sanders' playmaking was the reason why it happened. It wasn't because of your run game. That wasn't there yesterday. The Tennessee Titans took away Quinshon Judkins and Dylan Sampson. It was the Shedeur Sanders show, and the dude came through for you. Why would you not give him an opportunity to tie the game up and to push the game into overtime? I don't get it. It makes no sense to me.
It didn't make sense.
So, how many times have we heard fireable offense when people are speaking on what Kevin Stefanski did? We are continuously hearing this. So, people saying, oh, remember 2 weeks ago I showed y'all on UCSS, they were saying if Stefanski wins some more games, then if he wins some more games, then they got to bring him back. I'm like, nah, you don't bring him back. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. All right, let's get to it. Let's see what we got. Okay. All right, we're going to listen to Kevin. Shout out to you, Zedric. I appreciate it. Versus the Titans, 12 had 364 passing yards. The QB closest to him this season was Matthew Stafford with 298. None of the others were even close. None of them were close. They don't want to have an honest conversation. All right, let me clean this up. I had it waiting. All right, let's go here. Let's see what he's talking about. What are you talking about, Kevin? What you talking about? What you talking about, Stanky? Out of respect for your QB, you always give it to him. That's a fact. This is his third straight game with a questionable call to it. They keep piling up. Zedric.
Okay, thanks, Jordan. All right, injury front, just an update. Ethan Posick will be out for the season. He's getting surgery. He tore his Achilles. So obviously feeling for Ethan. He's a huge part of our team, of our offense. We've relied heavily on him, having a veteran center in there. So disappointed for him, but I know he will bounce back. He's got the right attitude, as you guys would imagine, but disappointed for Ethan. Obviously, that game doesn't go our way, and just trying to talk through it with the team this morning on the things that the reasons for that, and the things that we can do better, the things that we have to do better as a football team, offense, defense, special teams, player coaches, things that we have to improve upon in games like that. So it's frustrating. We got to learn from it, and then we'll move on to Chicago. With that, I'll take any questions.
First question will go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, just wondering, is Shedeur Sanders your starter now for the rest of the season?
Yes.
Okay. And what is your
Look how long it took him to say that. Remember, I told y'all, if he really believed in Shedeur, he would have been said he's our starter the rest of the year, so he's not looking over his shoulder. Look how long it took. It took all this for him to say that.
thinking behind that?
I think all along, Mary Kay, as you know, with our quarterbacks and our young players, you're always making sure that you're making the right decisions for our guys. And I think he has constantly and consistently gotten better in each one of these games and how he's approached this game. He's been working very hard. So I feel good about where his development is heading. He knows there are always going to be plays that he can be better and those type of things. But he's very intentional about getting better each and every game he's out there.
Has anything surprised?
Y'all heard that? I don't know why Mary Kay is always first, but y'all heard that. It was hard. Yes. And he thought that's all he was going to be able to do. She was like, why? I'm not letting you just say yes. You're not skating past us. Tell me why. Tell me why.
Surprised you about his development over these past 3 starts?
No, I wouldn't. I don't know. Surprise is the word, Mary Kay. I think, again, we've been around each other now going back to April, so I've seen constant improvement in a bunch of areas. But I also saw in that game some areas of improvement in some areas that we asked him to improve upon, and I think that's the fun part of coaching is developing players and giving them tools to improve in certain areas, if you will, and I think. The fun part is when you have players like Shedeur, like our rookies, whomever it may be, that are very intentional about their own development as well.
Thank you.
All right, next we're going to Daryl.
Yeah, Kevin, I wanted to ask about the 2-point conversion philosophy. I know that you guys use the probabilities and all those type of things when making those particular decisions about going for 2. I guess my question is, like, you guys have been doing this for a long time, and the wins and losses don't seem to be equating that. My question is, how much of game flow and that factor in, and can they outweigh just the probabilities of, hey, you're down 14, you just scored, go ahead and go for 2, so it informs you whether or not you should kick 1 or 2 on that second touchdown. I'm trying to understand like the process and the philosophy there with going for 2 with that first touchdown scored when you're down 14.
Yeah, well, I think you understand the philosophy behind it. I think I have to go into every game understanding our team, their team, the matchups.
Let me pause it real quick. I got to get some of y'all comments real quick because y'all cracking me up. I can't even keep a straight face. While not him making a call, Kevin Stefanski got boxed in. I agree. It pained him to say yes. OMG is obvious. I agree. He better have said yes. He would have had a problem. Had to think about it. Yep. Dylan is crying in the car. Zedric, you see it, nasty work. They let Mary Kay start because they knew she would ask. Yep. Now is the time to start replacing those old dudes. It's not personal. That's just nature of the game. That's it. But I'm glad he finally said it out his mouth. Yes. About time he said it. Mary Kay said, stop playing this game and name him the starter. Facts. Boy, them haters in bed for a week. Hey, they all sick. Yes, pridefulness is deadly. It is. Ivy League Mac. Where'd it go? The question is, why did you say Shedeur Sanders wasn't ready, and after 3 starts, he will start the balance of the season? I think that's a perfect question. Perfect question. He had to take a breath before naming him the starter. Had to think about it. Don't take credit. Yeah, you get no credit. Now, Mary Kay trying to CYA for all the lies she reported about Shedeur. That's a fact. They going for him today. They starting early. Always trying to slight him every chance she gets. Yep. Send Dylan Girl a link to this press conference. That's the one that took me out, Marcy. I couldn't hold it. I said I got to pause this real quick. Now the team needs to critique him on areas of improvement. I agree. Of course, Daryl asked that. Daryl's trying to find out, what are you thinking? What goes into the process of making that decision to go for that 2-point conversion? They just need to get DG's girl to take some questions. That's a fact. Have to be twice as good to be half as accepted as your counterparts just to be named the starter. Doggy Bone, talk to him. This is where they start to change the narrative that Stanky developed 12. The CU mess on that narrative has started. That's it. Kevin Stanky has pushed Shedeur out 3 games. Stanky is not developing players. He's not. He'll swear up and down having 12 throw to equipment managers built character. That's a fact, Maya. Let's see what else you got to say. What else you got to say?
The plays that we have available to us, do we like them? Do we not? Those are the type of decisions that factor into the game. Obviously, you take all that information in, Daryl, as you know, in all your decisions that you make. But ultimately, you're making decisions based on the game that you're playing and what's in front of you.
And then just a question about Shedeur and just his progress, similar to what Mary Kay was asking. The fact that he put up 4 touchdowns and just his third start versus what he did in that first start at Las Vegas. Just how pleasantly surprised are you with his progression in such a short timeline, considering maybe how far he might have been behind in training camp and maybe the first quarter of the season?
Yeah, again, not maybe the terms I'd use other than tell you I've been really impressed by his work ethic, and that's going back to since the moment he got here. That's what we've been striving to work with him and with all of our guys. As you know, it's been a huge area for us is player development of all of our players, and I think the guys, when they embrace it, that's the fun part where you get to see these guys making strides. So he's still very early into his career, and he would tell you the same. You want to have constant improvement in everything you're doing. There's moments in these games that come up that are hard to replicate in practice. You can talk through them on tape. You can talk through them in a walkthrough, and then you get the rep in a game, and that's the most valuable learning tool you can have. And I think he will only take all of that and use that to his development moving forward.
Stefanski, that's not the term you would use, but you told the reporters, and that's why they reported it. They stuck their chests out. All these reporters in Cleveland stuck their chests out when they said he was behind, and they were confidently saying it. They were confidently saying it. You know why they were confident to say it? Because they were getting it from this coach right here. That's why they were so confident to say it. That's why all of them are pushing back on that, because they were looking crazy. All of them was out here looking crazy when they kept saying that. All of them was looking crazy. And you could tell you could tell when he had I wouldn't use that term. I wouldn't describe it that way. You've been describing it that way this whole time. That's why they're using that terminology towards you. Don't try to dance around it now. Don't try to dance around it. Don't try to dance around it now. Well, welcome back, Shanithia. We still rocking out.
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride.
We still here. We still here. Through the Fire podcast. He has something to say, y'all.
Oh my God! Wow! I got money.
The biggest lie ever told about Shedeur. He was so far behind. BS. That's a fact. That's why they were pressing him about those statements, because he said it. He told them that. He told them that. He told them Shedeur's way behind. Shedeur needs the red shirt. We can't get him up to speed this year. He needs to sit out the whole year. They're pressing him because that was his words. Mary Kay asked Shedeur if he's going to be the starter for the rest of the, if Shedeur's the starter for the rest of the year. He said yes. Mary Kay tried to push him in a corner and say, what have you seen that makes you want to name him the starter the rest of the year? He danced around it. He just gave a vague, he's improving every week and he wants to get better. I've been around him since April and all this. Then Daryl Ryder is trying to get him to explain what was the thinking going into the 2-point conversion play? Then Daryl followed it up with, how did he make all this progress in these 3 weeks when he was so far behind? Kevin Stefanski said, well, I wouldn't use those terms to describe it. Daryl was probably thinking, you said that to me in the hallway. That was the words you said to me in the hallway. So I'm bringing it back to your face. These people believed Kevin Stefanski. They believed the wrong person. Do y'all remember a long time ago, I said everybody plays the fool, and I was talking about that song? I said everybody plays the fool. It was a while ago when I said it. And I said that because I knew that they were just saying things they heard from Kevin Stefanski. I knew they were just repeating things they heard from Kevin Stefanski. I knew it. Now they're playing the fool. Now they're trying to press him and get answers for them going out there playing the fool. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. I was hoping the headlines today is Kevin Stefanski was fired. Yeah, they hold on to him for some reason. They're trying to back up off that behind lie. They are. He gone. Yep. They still going with the he wasn't ready narrative. So disingenuous. Yeah, Kevin Stefanski put it out. That's why they're trying to get him to say it or answer to it. Not the term he used because he was never behind. Talk to him, Cedric. Talk to him. Ivy League Mac. That's it. You see right through it. Kevin Stefanski leaked it. That's why they're going at Kevin Stefanski so hard. Constant improvement among coaches too. Yep, and the real ones never believed it for one moment. Not for one moment. That's why Mary Kay is peeved. That's why she's been going to Kevin Stefanski's neck, because she's saying this does not match what y'all had me writing all year. Stanky trying to take credit for Shedeur's worth ethic and development. Stanky trying to change it up too late. We see you lying. That's a fact.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
You too, Kevin Stefanski, stay on that side. He needs to be fired after this today, right now, right now. The bigger lie is we're developing him now. Yes, it is. Newsflash, Jimmy Haslam is the number one person that doesn't like Shedeur. If he liked Shedeur, then he would have started him since game one. It's not Stefanski's fault. He's only taking orders from Jimmy. Nope. L. Scott, I'm disagreeing with you. This is on Kevin Stefanski. I'm blaming Kevin Stefanski what he says in these press conferences. I'm blaming Kevin Stefanski on what he leaks to these reporters. Why the reporters not going to Jimmy? Why is all the local beat reporters not going to Jimmy? Why are all the local beat reporters going at Kevin Stefanski harder? Why? It's been about 3 weeks since they started going at Kevin Stefanski. I don't know if y'all noticed that. Mary Kay has been at Kevin Stefanski's neck for about 3 weeks. Daryl was at his neck. They're all pressing him. Why do you think they're pressing him? They got the information from him. Kevin Stefanski is not wiggling his way out of this. This is on him. Kevin Stefanski could have made the decision to go to Shedeur Sanders coming out of bye week after Dylan Gabriel was not performing. He chose not to. This is on Kevin Stefanski. I'm not blaming these mythical characters where you don't know what they do. I'm not blaming Podesta. I'm not blaming Jimmy Haslam. I'm blaming the people who are held accountable for the jobs that they do. We watched Andrew Berry say, Jimmy allows us to do our jobs. Jimmy Haslam is not the one who wanted Shedeur Sanders. I'm believing him. I'm not going to believe them when they say something negative about players and then blame it on somebody else. I'm not doing it. This is on Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski has to wear this. Are we going to blame Jimmy Haslam for the 2-point conversion call? Are we going to blame Jimmy Haslam for the wildcat that they run in the red zone? Are we going to blame Jimmy Haslam for that too? I'm not letting Kevin Stefanski off the hook. If you want to let Kevin Stefanski off the hook, you can let him off the hook. I'm not letting him off the hook. I'm not letting him off the hook. This is on Kevin Stefanski. This is on Kevin Stefanski. I told y'all, Kevin Stefanski said I'm doing it my way when Kevin Stefanski said I'm doing it my way from the very beginning. His way got us in this position. I'm not letting him off the hook. This is on him. That's like when everybody was blaming Paul DePodesta. Everybody was doing shows about it. I'm not doing it. I'm blaming the people who we know exactly what they do. We know the decisions that they make. Kevin Stefanski is not getting let off the hook. Not getting let off the hook for this. No, he's not. You can let him off the hook if you want to. I'm not. I'm not. Stank knows Coach Prime watching. That's a fact. He cannot stand 10 toes behind his own decisions. That's a fact. Daryl asked that question. Yes, he did, Shanithia. Everything starts with Jimmy Haslam. That's true to a point. He's the owner. But they told us time after time that Jimmy Haslam was allowing them to do their jobs. So if he was allowing you to do your job now that it went bad, I'm not going to blame Jimmy Haslam. I'm going to blame the people who they said were allowed to do their jobs. You either lied then or you lying now. But either way, I'm blaming you. I'm blaming the people who said that. How in the heck can you have a former NFL OC as your college OC and not be ready? The only thing 12 has to do to get ready was speed of the game. He has tweaks to fix, but he's ready. That's it. Stefanski taking orders. Asante, I can't give him that pass. This is on him. Let's see if he go out to dinner with Dylan tonight. Facts. Dirty Mary is guilty too. She helped spread the trash. She did. She did. That's bull junk, as Coach Prime would say. I agree, Maurice. All good, Marie. Do your thing. Jonathan Peters must be on fire today on 92.3 The Fan. I can't wait for his soliloquy. Is this a dagger which I see before me? Yes, Shadithia. They pointed it out. They're pointing it out. Marcy, you're not giving him a pass, just like I'm not giving him a pass. Kevin was telling AB and Haslam Shedeur wasn't ready as well. They were letting him do his job while looking to the side eye. That's it. Karen got caught lying. You have to hold people accountable for what they say and do. That's a fact. You have to hold them accountable for what they say they do. If you told me before Jimmy let you do your job, then you're responsible when it goes bad. Well, that's a different thing than what you said earlier, L. Scott. That's a different thing. Jimmy Haslam does own the team. Jimmy Haslam said, I wouldn't have drafted Shedeur. That is true. But to take any blame off of Kevin Stefanski can't happen. This is on Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski did this. So maybe it's just the wrong time. It's the wrong time to try to put it on somebody else. Did they boo Shedeur at the game? Zach Jackson reported it first. I heard it. Remember I told y'all Zach Jackson, something happened and it was a switch and I don't know if I could just trust him. Zach Jackson has been losing credibility day by day. Day by day. When he went on his podcast and was saying the stuff about Josina Anderson and her sister and all this stuff, then he had to delete the podcast. Then he had to put a big old long apology in there. Then he was also parroting that Shedeur Sanders was behind. Zach Jackson, I don't view him the same way I did to start the year. I started to have questions weeks ago. I listened to the game. I can hear what's happening in the stadium as we're watching it. I did not hear anybody say that. So I don't know what Zach is talking about. I don't know what he's talking about there, C.A. Anderson. Would Jerry Jones allow a road coach to intentionally lose a game? I don't know, Miss Pamela. I don't know. I don't follow Jerry close enough to kind of say what he would and wouldn't do. Coach Prime had to make his presence known, like, don't make me have to come to Cleveland, get off my son. Had to let him know. There should be a you supported Shedeur from the beginning national holiday. That's a fact. Zedric said this is Vindication Monday, and I agree with that. Is Jimmy's team's case closed? He dictates everything. Y'all got to blame the guilty party, and it's Jimmy. Scott, we're just going to disagree. You just said you wasn't taking the blame off Kevin. Now you're saying that we got to blame Jimmy. I'm blaming Kevin Stefanski for what Kevin Stefanski does. He says he makes this decision. Hey, this is L. Scott. Maybe it's just not the place for you, because I'll have an honest conversation with you, but you're not having an honest conversation. You're not having an honest conversation. You know, you're not being honest here. He's taking orders to tank for next year's draft. It's so clear to see Shedeur will keep winning, but the Browns will lose. See, I think that's giving them an out. I'm not giving them an out. I'm not giving them an out. They're trash. If other people want to say they're tanking, if other people are saying they're tanking, y'all can say that. I'm not giving them an out. These people are bad at their job. If you want to say they're tanking, that's taking the blame off of them being bad. These people are bad at their job. They're bad at their job. I'm not giving no passes to these people who are bad, because I told y'all before the season they were bad. So I'm not going to try to twist my brain in a knot and say that they're tanking and this. I'm not doing it. Before they played one game this year, I told y'all Kevin Stefanski was a bad coach. Before one game. Before Kevin Stefanski coached one game this year, I said he was a bad coach. I'm not going to give him a pass and say he was tanking. He's bad. If y'all want to say he's tanking, you can have at it, say he's tanking. To me, he's a bad coach that needs to go. That's what I'm saying. Hey, man, have you heard of this story that Kevin, family, and DG with this girl were out and about in town together at a festival or something? If that's true, it's just further proof of DG favoritism. I haven't heard about it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Jimmy also says Stefanski is the coach and he will be in control of the players on the field. So say it all or none. You're picking the words for your narrative. Marie, I agree with you about what L. Scott was saying. I agree with you. Because when are you picking and choosing when you believe him? Why would they boo Shedeur? I don't know why they would. I don't know why they would boo Shedeur. Hey, Keith, talk to him.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
Zach Jackson is a flip-flopper. He is. That's why I started to question what he was saying weeks ago. Zach is trash. I drop him when he starts waffling right before the season started. D played that clip when he's saying a lot of nothing. That is Zach. That's a fact. He started doing that, and I couldn't rock with it. Do you think Barry is smiling? Oh, yeah. Andrew Barry is walking through the Browns facility saying this.
Put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
That's what Andrew Berry is saying. Blame Kevin Stefanski. That's it. This is Kevin Stefanski. Zach Jackson is trying to be messy. They may have booed the entire team, but not Shedeur. Yeah, I didn't hear that. I don't know why he's reporting that. I told you Scott is a Stefanski guy. Yeah, he trying to defend Stefanski. He trying to defend him. Kevin was bad last year too. That's what I'm saying. Kevin's a bad coach. So trying to give him the out of saying that they were tanking this year, he's a bad coach. He's a bad coach. They didn't boo Shedeur. If they booed anyone, it was Kevin. I agree. Yeah, I don't like him either. Part of the UCSS crew. Yeah, they just keep spinning the wheels and saying the same stuff. I can't get with it. Can't get with it. If they won that game, Kevin Stefanski would have found a reason to not give Shedeur the game ball. You know it. I think Browns wanted Cam, didn't get him, traded second pick. Barry wanted Shedeur. They didn't, but came back in the 5th round and got him. You can see it now. Marcy. And that's what I said from the very moment when they drafted Shedeur. I said it was Andrew Berry. I told y'all I'm going to do a grade on my biggest takes before the year, and I'm going to let y'all grade me on where I was right and where I was wrong after the season. Because that was one of the things I said. Shedeur is one of the all-time best deals Haslam and the Browns got in history. Tool man. He can right the wrongs of the Deshaun Watson thing. He can right the wrongs of the Deshaun Watson situation. He can. After the mega bad Deshaun debacle, Shedeur is a steal. That's a fact. Get them flip-flops out, Van. Get them flip-flops. I don't think the Browns organization wanted Cam. Probably Kevin did. Kevin probably did want him. You can see he was bad on how he handled Deshaun Watson. Made him a shell of himself. He did. That's it. He's been bad. Same here. I stopped watching Zach, full stop. That's it. That's what he's saying. AB is walking around just like that.
Respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
That's how he walking around with his chest out. Chest out, head high. That's it. Marie, you know I got them ready. I don't always play them, but they there. They ready. They ready. Mind you, Zach didn't even apologize, thus deleted the pod. Yep, Zedric, that's what he did. And I even went and listened to his re-recorded one where he tried to say the apology, but it was a whack apology. So I'm like, I can't get with it. I didn't hear any boos. I didn't hear any boos either. These people were alive for no reason. That's a fact. Deshaun Watson should be a quarterback coach. He's been coaching them better. Yeah, Marie, you know, they're ready. They just waiting. They need to tank UCSS and rebuild around G. Bush. He's the lone star. He's the lone star on that show. The lone star. He's carrying it. They said, thank you, Lord, now. Yep. Do you think the locker room going crazy and mad? I think the locker room is over Kevin Stefanski. I think they're over him. Let's see what else he got to say. He ain't going to talk for long.
Next, we're going to Scott.
Hey, Kevin, couple other injury questions. Do you have an update on Denzel and David coming out of the game?
Yeah, no update other than to say we'll see how they are come Wednesday.
Jack still in the protocol?
Yes.
Wyatt out this week?
Yes.
Okay. And then after, with time to reflect on it, the idea of going with the hot hand with Shedeur on that last 2-point conversion, do you have any second thoughts about it? I understand, why he went to the Wildcat, but the fact that he'd been playing so well, does that make you think twice about it?
Listen, when you come up short like you do, you think about everything and what you could do differently. Obviously, when you get in those moments, you have the calls ready to roll and plays that you've talked about pre-game and throughout the week. There are going to be times where you want to call back. There will be times where you have success and it didn't come off exactly how you wanted it. But bottom line is, we came up short in both those tries, and that's where I have to look at it and say, are there things that we can do better? And that's my job to look at it constantly.
Thanks.
Next, we'll go to Chris.
Hey, Kevin, I wanted to ask you about with Ethan out. I'm assuming Luke is will be the starter against Chicago.
Yes.
Is there some benefit, at least in the transition, that Shedeur has worked a lot with Luke over the course of the offseason and everything, in terms of that connection between the quarterback and center?
Yeah, I understand the question potentially, but I think those guys all work really well together. You know, throughout this offseason, Chris, they've all kind of gotten reps with different guys. So I think Luke's somebody that, you know, when you're playing that position, the center position, we put a lot on your plate. And when you're working with Poe and your Poe's backup, you really have to lock in and understand all that. And Luke has worked very hard. So he's done a nice job of making sure he's ready to roll in any instance that we may need him. And I think he'll be ready to roll in this one.
One more.
All right, so that's unfortunate. Ethan Pochik, starting center towards Achilles, so he's going to be out. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. No update on David Njoku or Denzel Ward. The Titans player showed much love to 12 after the game. The DT told 12 he's the reason, selling tickets. Bucky has it on his channel. Yep, Key Mathis. I watched it. I saw it when he put it out. I'll tell y'all like how I do some things. So when it comes to Bucky, when it comes to Well Loft, when it comes to channels that I really, really support, I try not to show their clips because I want people to go directly to their stuff to watch it. So if y'all ever wonder why I don't show Bucky clips, I watch it, I acknowledge it, but I want everybody to go to Bucky's channel to watch it. So that's the reason why. Just want to make sure any eyes, they see it there so they get the full support from it. Because that's how, you know, you want to do with channels you support. You want everybody to go see it on their channel. But I did see that after these games, you're seeing more and more players show him support and show him respect. Same way after the Raiders game when Bucky was there. They're showing him respect, showing him support. So I did see that. Pre-game plays, play in the moment. C. Brown run, you got to play in the moment. You got to play in the moment. How it felt from the first day to draft that whoever drafted 12 knew full well what they were getting. They just didn't want to pay the full cost. It was also a slap at Prime. Yeah, the NFL has issues with Coach Prime for whatever reason. And they, to me, Andrew Berry knew exactly what he was getting with Shedeur. And I always said it from the very beginning. The reason why he wanted Shedeur, and he showed different times where he wanted Shedeur. So that's why I was always confident who wanted Shedeur and why. And it just paid out, and everybody see it now. So everybody see it. Where do we leave off at? We are here. Those botched 2-point attempts should be investigated for point shaving. You on to something quick. You on to something. Cam's mechanics need some work, and they should be addressed as soon as possible. Maurice, you want to know something funny? They always talk about Shadeur's footwork. They never talk about anybody else's footwork. They don't talk about anybody mechanics. They don't talk about anybody else's time to throw. Do you find that strange? The first thing I told y'all, the reason why I wasn't high on Arch Manning was his mechanics and footwork. That's what I told y'all from the beginning. First time I saw him. Cam Ward has a crazy arm. He has a baseball background, so he can throw from all these different arm angles. Sometimes he relies on it too much. So, Maurice, you see it. He's going to do the Wildcat again in the next game. Why isn't he fired yet? Yeah, Casey is a problem, but he's definitely going to do the Wildcat. Haslam needs to sell the team. He's condoning Kevin's BS. Hopefully he blow it up. Stanky is lying. Yeah. For all of the Browns been through, the NFL Brotherhood is going to put the Browns in the Super Bowl a few times or having a new dome. I agree. That's why you got to get the dome, Asante, so you can host the Super Bowl. When he says, I understand the question, I wonder, is that his way of saying that's a dumb question to ask? I think it's one of those where he looks at it like, dang, I can't answer this. So he's collecting his thought and make something up. It's a filler word for him to buy time. A filler word. Good deal. Dear, you're awesome for that. Yeah, keep at this. So that's why I never show Bucky, because I want everybody to go there. I want him to get the love and support, because Bucky has changed the game. People need to put more respect on Bucky's name for him changing how sports teams are covered. That's straight from Bucky. Every team is trying to replicate the way he covers Colorado, and they can't do it. They cannot do it. So Bucky, he needs all the respect that he's earned from him changing the game. He's changed the game for sure. Shedeur's had 3 games. He set a record in 2 of the 3 games. Let that sink in. Talk to him. Talk to him. Everyone talking the type of circus Shedeur brings and how they don't need that. The fact is, what Shedeur brings is a microscope on how incompetent these people run their organization and get away with it. Doggy bone. I said that in the summer. In the summer, I said Shedeur is like a lightning rod. Lightning strikes a town, and then they realize everything is bad. That's what he's doing. That's what he is doing. That was a mandate. Destroy his value at all costs. That's what the NFL was doing. Now they looking crazy. If you look at the activity in Vegas prior to the game, you're absolutely right. Kind of strange on that point saving. Low bars to clear considering their QB history. Zedric, do you remember I said Shedeur would be stepping off the curb and he would surpass what we've seen from Browns quarterbacks? Everybody, it was a double entendre. It was kind of a shot at y'all know who, Brucey, and also it was we haven't had good quarterback play in so long that you'll surpass it very quickly. Very quickly. Doggy Bone, right? Plus, he makes a lot of them money. They don't want to acknowledge that part. They don't. Cam was retreating too. He was. I think a lot of the hate is because Shedeur speaks a lot about the Lord. Demons be demoning. Britt, that's it. They don't want to hear about it. If you notice in yesterday's post-game press conference, when Mary Kay asked something crazy, the Lord is with me. The Lord is on my side. They don't want it. They don't know what to do with that. They can't deal with that. So it just cut them off. Oh, the Thanksgiving. Yeah. That Thanksgiving prayer might play off for Shiloh. That's a fact. His sidearm is severe. When you get a chance, go back and check it out. I'll check it out for sure. When I was watching him earlier, I was like, yeah, he's making some throws that just, I don't know. Exactly. They didn't want that long scope. Nope. They don't want to be exposed. Shedeur looks generational. I agree. I'm compiling a list of all the records broken yesterday. Many of them haven't been mentioned. How can I send it to you via email? Real fresh food. Let's see. What's the best way? Which email should you send it to? I wonder. Let me check something real quick. Let me check something. I think I could. I think I can. Let me see something. Man, it won't let me do it there. It won't let me do it there. Real Fresh Foods, are you on TikTok? Real Fresh Foods, if you're on TikTok or if you're on X, if you're on IG, if you're on any of those Offtharecorddee, just DM me on any one of those three. I was going to try to respond to your Cash App, but since I already responded to it, it's not letting me respond again. That's what I was going to try to do. Patreon is an option too. Patreon is also an option. Yes, he's in a class of his own in 3 games. Zedric, just like that. Zedric, remember I said one throw? I was like, one throw will get it done. All it takes is one throw. When he speaks about his faith, it disarms them. That's a fact. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do with it. If you notice, the question just kind of stopped. They just pause, and then they try to follow up with something. They don't really have a follow-up. Respect how Bucky got the interaction between Shedeur Sanders and Tony Grossi. The narrative would have been different, but we've seen it for ourselves. Yes, C. Brown run. If you remember, Tony Grossi didn't recall the situation correctly. We had to see it on video because Tony Grossi initially got it wrong when he was recalling the situation. I thought Shedeur was very good in college, but he looks light years ahead of his senior year on Sunday with only 3 NFL starts. That's it. That's it. 3 starts. 3 starts. He liked that. I believe Cam and Shedeur will be great because they push each other. Shedeur will be better though. I agree with that. Yep. Any of those will do. Real Fresh Food. If you go IG, TikTok, X, Patreon, any of those will do. 3 games and no reps. There you go. The reps mean something. Let's see if they hit thank you with any more good questions.
Well, one last question then on Shedeur and just his pocket presence and how one of the issues it seemed like he had early on was drifting a lot, and drifting backwards. It seems like he's doing a better job, more consistent job of staying within the pocket, getting out obviously when he needs to, but just how have you seen him grow in that regard in his game?
Yeah, that's definitely been a area of focus for him that I think he continues to improve. I think there were multiple plays in that game where there was really good evidence of really good footwork that you can coach off of, that you want to, point out that this is exactly drill work. This is what you're working on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's showing up here on Sunday.
Thanks.
All right, next go to Tony.
Okay. I want y'all to hear something. So I've been telling y'all, I must ask, did anybody shake their head when Judy flipped into the end zone? That could have been a disaster. Remember Adrian Peterson? That ended his collegiate career. Yeah, when he did the flip, I don't like celebrations that put you in harm's way. Celebrate, be creative. I don't like when you're in harm's way. That one name he didn't want to talk about, now he has to respect it. That's right. I will say this. Kevin Stefanski just said, some of his footwork we can coach off of. We can coach off of some of his footwork that he put out there. We are seeing things that he's working on Wednesday and Thursday. We're seeing it on the field. So Kevin Stefanski said that. So now, when Rizzo says his footwork is bad, when the other people on ESPN Cleveland say he needs to work on his footwork, even Jay Gruden, when Jay Gruden says his footwork is terrible, who do we believe? Who do we believe, y'all? All of the quarterbacks, when they review film, they say we have to know what they're coaching him to do. Kevin Stefanski said he's doing the things that we're coaching him to do with his footwork. So when you get all these people, they don't bring up nobody else's footwork in the NFL, and they bring up footwork when it comes to Shedeur. Do we believe them? do we believe them? It's out there, y'all. See, this is what shows these people, they go to another person to get how they should feel about Shedeur, and then they just repeat it. I kept telling y'all, his footwork is one or two plays where you're like, okay, his footwork could have been better. But when you drop him back 30 times and you're talking about one or two plays, I don't really want to hear about the footwork thing. Knowing he hasn't been getting reps like that. Rizzo said it was bad today. When did they become QB coaches? Great question. His arm work is great. That's what I'm saying. Key Mathis, our own eyes. That's what you got to use. That's what you have to use. I believe Shedeur had a wonderful encounter with God during this bad experience because he's never glorified God so much, even though he has always given God credit in high school and college. Yes, when he was on his own podcast and he said it was just dark times before the draft, I think that was something that opened his eyes and changed him. Celebrate after you get the touchdown. Yeah, I'm cool with that too. Celebrate after you get it. I can't wait to hear from Gruden on Shedeur performance this time. He tries so hard to discredit him. Yeah, when they're bringing up the footwork stuff, I was on the island by myself. Did y'all hear anybody else defending Shedeur's footwork? I was on the island by myself saying, what are they talking about when they keep bringing up his footwork? And if you notice, it's the same people saying the same things. Rizzo saying it. All of ESPN saying it. They saying it on 92.3 The Fan. They're saying it. They're saying it on UCSS. None of them can go to the play where they say his footwork should have been better on this play. None of them. So why are we believing him? Thanks Select QB for Shedeur's footwork. Daryl Colbert is his QB coach. That's a fact. Someone needs to have a long sit-down talk with Janky and tell him it's time to grow up and be responsible. Somebody got to do it. Shedeur Sanders is fulfilling God's purpose for his life. It is wonderful to see and marvelous in our sight. I agree. That's why all the stuff he's been through is preparing him for these moments, and he's prepared for it. So the he not ready stuff was very irritating. The street ball stuff was very irritating. They just didn't know. All these people didn't know what was happening before their eyes, and they were just praying for his downfall. They were praying. I've never seen people want to see him fail, an athlete fail to this degree. Never seen it. I've never seen it. And he said they want to see me fail. And what did he follow that with that? I won't fail. They want to see him fail and he's not going to fail. Shanikia, you see it. I kept saying it. I was like, this is not happening on a bunch of plays. It's not happening on a bunch of plays. So if you watch yesterday's game and you look at it and your criticism is they try to overblow the interception, like rookies not going to throw interception, even though Cam Ward had an interception in the same game. And you don't hear them talking about Cam Ward's interception. He had one interception. Whoop-de-doo. But they're overblowing his footwork. And in the same game, they don't even mention Cam Ward's footwork or mechanics. They don't even mention it. Don't even mention it. So this is why a lot of these people, I can't give them too much energy because they're not putting in the work. They're not watching it on film. They're not looking into it. They didn't know who Shedeur was, and it's showing that they don't know who he is. The flip Jerry Jeudy did will be okay if he can land on his feet, but it looks dumb to bang down on his hips, legs, knees. That's a fact. Didn't make sense. It made no sense. And if he hurt himself, it's all bad. All bad. Yeah, Shanithia, I was the only one out there saying the footwork ain't like that. It's not bad like they're saying. It's not bad like they're saying. Daryl is the man, and Cam's, the old ones still have suppressed ire for prime. Yeah, they got some hate for some reason in their heart. God is letting Shedeur get his lick back from April. He is. He is only going to get better. Only going to get better. He only getting better with time. And all these people who are hating on him, they just got to sit there and take it. They look like the fools that they are, making fools out of them. What else you got to say, Stanky?
Kevin, hi. Was it a mistake not to start Shedeur earlier?
Yeah, I'm not going to get into those type of things, Tony. I'm obviously focused on what's in front of us.
Was it a mistake not to start Shedeur earlier? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was a mistake not to play him earlier. They didn't want to see Shedeur fail. This was about Dion can't raise a star. Either one it was. Now they got to live with it. Now they stuck with it. Only made him a bigger star. People watching him around the world. They only made him a bigger star. We had somebody on the stream yesterday from South Africa. They only made him a bigger star. Burrow had a pick six and another interception yesterday. Nobody says a word because they're not being honest, Detroit Gemini. I've been saying they're not having honest conversations. They're not holding everybody to the same standard. Y'all see how they going to him now? They going at him. They're not hiding it. It makes haters nauseous to have to say his name so much. I agree. Dylan Who, Shedeur's the man. Stanky needs to get with the program. That's it. He knew it was a mistake. Indeed, let's make sure you give credit to Jeff Blake for teaching Shedeur NFL QB play. Yes, he always goes back to speaking on Jeff Blake about how he taught him how to throw the moon ball with the accuracy. I know Tony Grossi did not ask that question. Dylan is better. He got a nice spin on the ball. Yes, Tony Grossi, we didn't forget. Kevin Stefanski doesn't want to eat that big slice of humble pie. He don't. Grossi, y'all see it. I want a coach that's not afraid to tell the truth and just admit he was wrong. Brent, that's why earlier in the stream, I showed Andy Reid just admitting him going for it on the wrong side of the field was a mistake. Because what people don't want to do is they want to look at people who are great, but they don't want to do the things that great people do. Andy Reid said in hindsight it was a mistake, and it was a mistake that he made. He shouldn't have did it. That's what greatness is. Greatness doesn't eliminate you from failures. You have to get to the place of admitting it was a failure faster so you can learn and grow from it. That's the difference. That's what you got to do. I didn't even know Tony Grossi was popping like that. Let's see what else he say.
About the second 2-point conversion, Batonio said after the game, you guys were repping that play back in Philadelphia. I remember seeing it myself. But the fact is, Judkins was not with you in Philadelphia. So did he get reps Friday on that play?
He did.
How'd he do?
We ran the play. So, Tony, bottom line is we'll always look at things that we can do better, but I trust our guys. We work hard during the week to rep plays that we may play, that you may show in the game. But that was not the issue there.
Do y'all hear how they are at his neck? Do y'all hear this?
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Do y'all hear how they at Tony? Tony Grossi is at his neck. They saying, man, you embarrassed us. He said, they said you've been running the place since Philadelphia. He wasn't there in Philadelphia. He said, are y'all hearing this? They got all the smoke for him because he had them looking so crazy. Hold on, y'all. I got to run that back because I wasn't expecting to hear this. I got to run that back. I can't believe he. Hold on. I got to run that back. I got to run that back, y'all. I'm sorry. Bear with me, y'all. I got to run that back. Let me see.
Obviously focused on what's in front of us.
About the second 2-point conversion, Batonio said after the game, you guys were repping that play back in Philadelphia. I remember seeing it myself. But the fact is, Judkins was not with you in Philadelphia. So did he get reps Friday on that play?
He did.
How'd he do?
We ran the play. So, Tony, bottom line is we'll always look at things that we can do better, but I trust our guys. We work hard during the week to rep plays that we may play, that you may show in the game. But that was not the issue there.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, next one, Ashley.
Oh my goodness. They had his neck, y'all. He said, how'd he do? Oh my goodness. Oh man. Stefanski. Hey, just quit, man. Stefanski, just quit, man. Just quit. You don't got to go through this, man. You don't got to torture yourself like this. Just quit, bruh. Bruh, just quit. Oh my goodness. The way that they are at this man's neck. How'd he do? Did it work? Oh, yeah, Shanithia, I got to get that out. I got to get that out today. I can't believe this. Did y'all see this before me? Because I did not expect this to be happening. The way they going at him. They are at his neck. They are at his neck. They pulling up the receipts. They like Quinshawn wasn't there. Quinshawn wasn't there in Philadelphia because he was away from the team because he had the accusations. So the way that they are at him, just quit, man. This is torture. Why are you putting yourself through this? Why are you going through this, man? You don't got to go through this. You don't have to go through this. He made Mary Kay and Grossi look like fools globally. They're going to make Stank pay. Yes, they're going to make Stanky pay. They're going to make him pay. They're going to make him pay. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm going to get that one clipped. I got to do a couple things, but Shanithia, I got to get that clip. I got to clip that. I got to. Let's see what else they got. They're at his neck, y'all. They're at his neck. Think he need Prime to pray for him after he finished laughing. Facts. They are mad at him. They are. He embarrassed them because they took everything he said as law, and now they look crazy. I expected them to get him, and I'm glad. They're at his neck, y'all. They at his neck. They've been thinking about these questions since the game ended yesterday. Y'all know that, right? Since the game ended, they're like, man, we're going to light him up tomorrow. We're going to get him. Let's see what else they got for him. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Kevin, I had a question about the first 2-point conversion attempt. So I guess following up on what Chris was asking, was there an issue with the snap with Luke being in at that point and Ethan having come out? And was there any confusion just on the snap itself?
Yeah, no confusion in the snap. Obviously, center quarterback exchanges, you don't want them to show up in a game like that. Those guys have had plenty of reps together. That you get reps before and after a series, those type of things. So that was unfortunate for that to happen at that moment.
And then, like, when the ball came out, it looked like kind of like multiple guys on both teams just standing around for a second or two. Like, was there just confusion on what
appeared,
happened, like the rules, or what do you think
no,
happened?
we actually just watched the play on Friday from the Miami New Orleans game where there was an interception that went back on a 2-point play, which is a pick 2. You get 2 points for it. So we just looked at that. It appeared to me like we touched him down. Now we didn't look at it any closer because the result was what it was. But the guys know the rules there.
Okay, thanks.
All right, next go to Jeff.
They are at his neck about his play call and his questionable decisions. They are at his neck. They are at his neck. I appreciate that, Marcy. I appreciate that. Howdy do is officially the quote of the year. Facts. I think I'm going to have to add that to the soundboard if I can get it loud enough. Howdy do. Oh my goodness. I didn't think I was going to enjoy this press conference this much, y'all. I didn't think I was.
Hey, Kevin,
They're making him real uncomfortable, and I love it. Yeah, they are at his neck. Y'all know I'm so used to just watching Kevin Stefanski and it just being blah, and then we just like, okay, he said one thing. But this is entertainment right here, y'all. This is entertainment.
I have 2 questions. 2 years ago, your special teams were really good. Why do you think there have been so many issues this year?
Yeah, it's something that we look at really week to week, Jeff, on things that we can improve upon. Obviously, disappointed in yesterday and some of the things that happened yesterday that can't happen, but that's something we look at every week.
And then your defense has been so good against the run. What happened there yesterday?
Yeah, like you said, we've been very good in that area. It was uncharacteristic for us. We'll get back to work.
All right, thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Cam.
Hey, Kevin, kind of off of that run stop and defense question. Obviously, your first game without Malik Collins, was any of that felt? Maybe the loss of him and trying to, as you said, you can't replace him. You just have to have guys step up for him. Maybe the ramping up and getting them used to that kind of role.
Cam, obviously Malik's a big part of who we are and our success and our culture and all those things. So of course you're going to miss him, but we expect the guys that are in there to do their job.
And sticking on the defense, Alex Wright, Isaiah McGuire able to go in that one. Did you see them need to maybe ramp up a little bit at coming back from their injuries? And what are you expecting from them in these last 4?
No, I thought there were some good moments from both those guys. Obviously, when you're coming off injury, you're definitely only going to improve. So I think they'll be even better next week.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go to Joe.
Let's hit a couple comments. They at this man's neck. Look at that blank mean look on his face. Yeah, he's just looking. Kev, don't you find this suspicious? He don't know. It's crumbling right around him. I am loving this for Stanky. Yeah, they are at him. He didn't get grilled yesterday, but they are pressing him today. I think that's a sign his job is coming to a close. These are exit interviews. That's it. They are getting it on record that you played us and we gonna play you now. Marie, I love it. Finally get him. They are at his neck. I know y'all not watching Cleveland media. I don't know the commentator name. But he's on 92.3 The Fan Station. He asks, why are Sanders fans filling the stadium? Why aren't they filling the stadium? Tessa, they started to say that at the end of last week. Like, they should be sold out. Man, who gonna go sit in that cold? And then you don't know, even we're missing greatness because they're taking opportunities away from him. They're taking opportunities away from him. So now when it's bad and the tickets is $12, they want everybody to come in and fill up the stadium to support some stuff that they're going to mess up. Nah, don't put that on us. All the people who did not want to see Shedeur play well, they should go out there and be in the stands hoping they can see him fail. Don't put that on his supporters. Don't put it on us. Nope. All of a sudden, the team is falling apart. KC is falling apart. The writing's on the wall. Where's Wyatt Teller? They asked him I think the first question they asked him about Wyatt Teller. First or second question, he's out for the week. Shanithia, come on. Karen asked some good questions. You're on my good list. Yeah, she's solid, but she was like, hey, y'all going at him? I'm going to ask a softball question. I bet the reporters collaborated before this interview. It seemed like it. It seems like it, Van. They asked him about Taylor. He's still benched. Yeah, he's out for the next week. He said he's out. He's the communications major, but he's squirming up there. Yeah, he's scrambling and scraping. Exit interview, you're on the money. That's a fact because it's cold. Yeah, they want us to just go out there and sit in 30-degree weather, and we don't know that if the coach is going to let Shedeur win the game or if he's going to take him out at the end of the game. They're going to do Wildcat. Don't put that on us. No, you didn't want him. We're going to watch him how we want to. You took his money. We take theirs. Facts. And he's reaping what he's sowing. That's a fact. Let's see what the next question is from Joe.
Kevin, just on analytics in general, because I know everybody uses them a lot throughout the league now, especially you guys. How much do you balance the analytics and the numbers over maybe having a young roster when it comes to making the decisions like going for two and all of that?
Yeah, I don't know if the young roster necessarily factors into that decision, Joe. I think every decision you make is based on, I mean, you can say analytics, but, how good the defense is on a short yardage, what their percentage is of stopping the other team is statistics, and use that to make your decisions. And then you look at the matchups and your players versus their players. So I think it's certainly a tool and it's information to take in, but I think there's so much that goes into the decisions when you're making them. The decision to go for two when you're down, to start the series at 14, that's also based on the plays you have available to you, the matchups, those type of things. So I don't think it's ever just a black and white picture, if you will.
And then just game Sunday, I think 230 receiving yards after the catch. It seems like Shedeur, during his 3 starts, has been good about finding the open receivers and letting them operate in open space. Is that one of the areas of his game where you've seen progress too, where you've been able to get yards after the catch where maybe you didn't early in the season?
I don't know. I wouldn't compare it to early in the season. I would tell you, when you talk about rack and those type of things, I think it's there's a lot of dimensions to that, but certainly the accuracy of the throw factors into it. When you put the throw where the receiver or the tight end or the running back doesn't have to break stride, that allows you to maximize your speed throughout the route and into the play. And then it's the receivers winning versus man. I think Jerry's route, his big touchdown was versus man. He won, and he won with a lot of separation. So I think it all factors into it.
Okay, thanks.
All right, a few more, Mary Kay. Yeah, just wondering, Kevin, now that you guys are officially eliminated from playoff contention, what's your confidence level that you have the infrastructure, the leadership group in place to make sure that these guys are going to be out there just fighting all the way to the end and playing as hard as they have been?
Yeah, we know it's in front of us, Mary Kay, and that's all that we'll focus on. We got a big test this week in Chicago. That's the most important thing in front of us.
Okay, thank you.
Oh my God! Wow!
I got money.
Shout out to Through the Fire podcast. I appreciate all your support. He says, I got something to say. I'm not worried about Kansas City. Remember, New England had a long playoff drought with time. It happens. Big Red will get it together. I agree with you. The thing I like is he acknowledged his mistake right away. He didn't dance around it. He didn't act like, he realized that changed the game. That changed the game. So I think he's going to turn it around. I think they just need more of a mix of young players in there, and they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. So we on the same page. I agree with you Through the Fire. And also, thank you for all of your support every single day. I appreciate you. Yeah, remember, they have 6 Super Bowls, and Tom was there for 19 years. That's a fact. That is a fact. That is a fact. I agree with you. I agree. Let me get to some of these. I miss these comments. Everybody and their mama watching Shedeur Sanders on TV. Facts, Charmaine. Facts. We not at the stadium for the same reason we don't go on safaris to talk to the lions. It don't make sense. Talk to him, Shanithia. You want us to be out here doing something crazy. When they played Carolina, they didn't say nothing about people showing up for Shedeur where the weather was nice. Yep, my mom was 75 and asking about him. Shedeur got grannies for Shedeur. Facts, Marcy. Is this the first time Kevin Stefanski has given real answers? He just explained that pass to Judy in detail. This year, this is the first time I can remember him explaining in detail like that. But also, it's a player that, for whatever reason, he doesn't mind highlighting doing something well. Kevin Stefanski only has about 4 guys that he will talk about them doing, about 5. So he's talked about Carson Schlesinger doing stuff well in detail. He's talked about Miles doing things in detail. Right there, Jerry Jeudy. He's talking about Quinshawn early doing things in detail. So only a couple guys he goes into detail with giving them props. But I'm like you, Shanithia. It's not that often that he does that. Mary Kay getting bonus questions. Facts. They loop back around and say, you got anything else for him? He still never gives Shedeur Sanders credit he deserves. Yes, he does not speak on Shedeur the same way he speaks on those guys I just mentioned where he gives out credit. I need Tony Grossi to ask if they're taking a quarterback in the first round. You know Tony is the one who asked that question. You know he is. We're going to see if Tony got another question.
Tony.
Oh, here we go.
Thank you. You hear me? I'm sorry. Kevin, when you guys broke down the 53 roster in September with 13 or 14 rookies, first-year players, how much of an understanding was there in the organization that this was going to be tough to win with that many rookies? And has your expectations overall been higher or lower than what we're getting here at 3-10?
Yeah, all I would tell you, Tony, is that the guys who are on the roster are guys that I trust, we trust. I don't get caught up in that type of thing other than to say that these young players that we're counting on continue to get better, and they got the right attitude.
Okay. All right, last one from Scott.
Yeah, and I guess it relates to what Tony just asked you, but given you're playing so many rookies, especially on offense in key roles, is it just a cost of doing business that there's going to be mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes are in really critical moments?
I mean, in the sense that young players make mistakes, sure, but we trust our guys. These guys, part of making a mistake is you're learning from it and you're going to get better at it. I've told you guys many, many times, and this is still true, that this rookie class, especially the rookie class, because we're talking about them, they have the right attitude. They've worked like crazy since the moment they've been here. They keep the main thing, and that's what we'll continue to do. We'll just focus on the work and what's in front of us.
And I guess specifically after like the 2-point play with Quinshawn, like what do you say to him when it doesn't go like you guys wanted it to go?
Yeah, I'll keep all those conversations between our guys internal, but we trust Quinshawn. I trust all of our young guys, and we'll just continue to work at it, and that's what we'll do.
Thanks.
All right.
Let me see.
That wraps us up. Thanks.
That was an underhand throw right there, that last question. Super soft, something he knew he wasn't going to answer. That reporter definitely was not in on grilling him. He wasn't in on grilling him. He happy now? Last question. Give us the next coach to question. Yeah, we need somebody else. They're letting him get in grilled. Jimmy making plays. Yeah, he's getting exposed. I think they mad about yesterday. I think so too. The questions, if y'all notice, the questions are super detailed about certain things that Kevin Stefanski said previously, and that is what they're digging at when they ask him questions. So hey, you had us believing in you, but you've shown we can't believe in you. So why do your words matter to us? That's the type of questions they're getting Kevin Stefanski on. You say, I am sorry, I just don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. In the middle of this, when they was asking him questions, I was like, man, save yourself. Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel, man. Just say, you know what? This season hasn't gone how I wanted it to go. And you just got to throw in the towel, man. The way they're going at him, throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. Where is it at? Let me see. Kevin. Kevin, this is you, man. Tap out. Accept your fate. Throw the towel, man. Throw in the towel. Tap out. Tap out, Kevin. This ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. So, yeah, this ain't it. It's funny that now they say, you said Rizzo finally saying Shedeur should be the starter. Okay. Or no, Tony Grossi finally saying that. But also Tony Grossi said Dillon Gabriel throws a better ball. He said that from the beginning. I said that was one of the things I'm not going to let him live down. He said Dillon Gabriel throws a better ball. So, Tony, even though you finally come into your senses, you was on the wrong side, stay over there.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Stay on that side. It's full over here. No room for you. Don't come this way. We got no room. So they just picked the wrong person to believe in. They picked the wrong person to trust. So they got to live with the decisions they made. They got to live with it. It is what it is. So this evening, I'm going to edit. I'm going to get that clip out when they was going at Tony when I was going at Kevin Stefanski because they were going at him. They were going at him. Let's thank you feel the heat. Let him feel the heat. Haslam gave the reporters those questions. You know AB and Haslam was watching and listening closely. Yeah. I told y'all what AB is saying. AB, y'all told y'all what he's saying.
Put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
That's what AB saying. AB walking in. Put some respect on my name when you say it. Y'all was talking crazy. Even me. I was talking crazy about AB before the season. I was one of those people. But I got to put some respect on his name. I got to put some respect on it. Talk to him, Ja.
Everybody stay on that side when they switched up. You switched up, stay on that side, man.
Stay over there. The side you pick, stay over there. So you're going to have some Cleveland media scrambling and scraping for stuff this week. That's on them. They picked the wrong side. This is what happens. This is a good life lesson. You cannot put your faith in someone else to do the work for you. You have to do the work on your own and then come to a decision after you did the work. People in Cleveland, instead of doing the work, they listen to the Kevin Stefanskis. They listen to the other coaches. They listen to the scouts instead of doing their own work. And that is why they're in this position. So in life, you put in your own work, you determine how people view you. And I realized that with the college quarterbacks. I said, I'm going to watch all of them. I watched all the quarterbacks. I told y'all what the outcome is going to be because I actually watched them. Ty Simpson and him only having a little bit of starts is looking like he might need to go back to school. So early on when I was saying if a quarterback doesn't have 25 starts, I wouldn't consider them in the first round. Ty Simpson looking like he need to go back as the pressure is on him. Dante Moore, it was reported he was potentially going back. They lose some coaches, so we're going to see if he's going back. Lenoir Sellers, everybody was hype about him. I watched him. They saying he needs to go back. So all of them need to go back and get that another year of starting. All of them need to go back. So it's just I did the work on my own, and people got to be willing to do the work, and then you can pump your chest out when you're talking, and you don't have to, dance over stuff and get mad at somebody else for making you look crazy. That's what it is. This has been a very good Monday stream. 3.5 hours, y'all. 3.5 hours. Very, very, very good stream. I really enjoyed this Vindication Monday, as Zedric named it. Vindication Monday. It felt good. I appreciate everybody who tapped in. I appreciate all your kind words. Everybody who tapped in with support. I want to make sure I don't miss nobody. So thank you to Real Fresh Foods, always supporting the stream every time you come in. Thank you to James Woodard. Thank you to Charmaine. Thank you to C.A. Anderson. Through the Fire podcast. Big time. Thank you. Natalie came in late with the super sticker.
Oh my God. Wow.
I got money.
I appreciate you, Natalie. Thank you for your support. Shout out to my Patreon members. Shanithia, as always. Charmaine, super supporter. Zedric, all access crew. I appreciate y'all. If you want to take your support to the next level of the channel, definitely check out the link for Patreon. Do some nice stuff over there. So I appreciate y'all. Shanithia, I have to apologize to AB because I was saying it be your own people. Yeah, I told y'all I changed my view on AB. I changed my view. I'm gonna put some respect on his name. I'll put some respect on it when I say AB. So I appreciate y'all. We are back at this thing Wednesday. Like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, Clyde, what's going on? I was driving down my frat to and from. Clyde, hopefully you were here. Earlier on in the stream, I was talking about Brennan Marion, the OC who was at CU. I'm really excited about him. So hopefully you were here the whole time. But if you weren't, definitely catch the replay where I'm talking about Brennan Marion, the OC at CU. He's going to be really good. I'm very excited for him. So early in the stream. Also, safe travels out there, Clyde. Safe travels. Do you think Haslam and AB got enough from this interview to fire Stefanski? Of course.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
Of course they got enough from it. Clyde, definitely tap into the replay of the stream so you can hear the portion where I'm speaking on him for sure. And safe travels out there. Be safe. Be safe out there on the road, Clyde. Be safe out there. I will catch y'all Wednesday. Like, comment, subscribe. We're Wednesday, 10:30 Eastern. Y'all know how we do it. We'll be here. Y'all enjoy the next couple of days. The haters going to be sleeping. It's going to be crickets for them. They're not out. It's past the haters' bedtime. But we're going to be back at this thing. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for all y'all support. I will see y'all Wednesday. Peace, everybody.